And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over the streets of the internet, all over mainstream media, television, and more. This whole Netflix drama, what's really going on with Netflix? How are you going to put this movie out there? And why are people defending it? Not everyone's defending it. We're not going to defend that nonsense. Hopefully not. If you defend the Cuties, I think you need to get a visit from some guys in some dark suits, okay? No Will Smith. I'm talking about the real boys that'll put you in Gitmo, Bit Rocks, Little Rocks. You know how it goes. But that movie is ridiculous. I've canceled my Netflix a long time ago. That's not even the thing that I had to cancel today. I canceled that many months ago because it was just so much trash on there. I'm like, you know what? I don't watch Netflix, number one. I don't even really have time to watch Netflix. And I don't even want to I don't want to throw my money away to a company that has that kind of garbage on it. You understand what I'm saying? So I have nothing to actually cancel. I just know that I was right to cancel it. And I'm glad. I am 1000% glad that I did cancel it. Also, are we bringing segregation back in college? Is that going to be the new wave? Segregation? Is that where we're going to next? But we got to be so woke in college. We got to have segregation. The NFL going woke. Are they going to go broke? Probably so. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And again, I thank y'all for joining. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me. And I certainly appreciate y'all for that. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. If you're listening on audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, a review, whatever you can do to help me out on that particular platform. Please do that. If you don't know, this show that you're listening to right now live, if you're on YouTube watching on Saturday night, this show will be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you are, this show probably is. Just search ABL Live on your favorite audio streaming platform. And also there's a link in the description box below. You can check it out right there for yourself. So we got a whole lot happening. Now, this whole thing with the Cuties, I'm going to jump straight into Cuties because it's really just kind of on my mind. I'm going to jump straight into it. Now, this movie on Netflix should not be allowed to be on the platform at all. I don't know who thought, hey, this would be a great idea. Let's put this movie with these little girls in it twerking. Like, where was the thought process behind it? And the defense of the movie is just all over the place. People talking about, oh, well, you got to watch it. You got to put it in context. It's a beautiful coming of age story. The story was gripping. Even if somebody says that the story was just great, it's beautifully crafted, all this and that, does not change the fact that it's little girls in it twerking. There's also underage nudity in the movie. How was this legal to show in the United States? It was not filmed here. It was filmed over in Europe. I presume mostly in France because it's a French movie. It could have been filmed in Italy or somewhere, but I presume it was filmed in France. It's a French movie. It doesn't make a difference where it was filmed, who filmed it. It's being shown over here on the States on Netflix. If you have a Netflix account in the United States, you're able to go watch it right now. Should you be able to do that? Some say, oh, don't be. I saw some crazy defenses. I was seeing people say that, oh, you're conservative. You're supposed to be for, no censorship. It's like, all right, well, come on. At a certain point, we got to draw a line. It's not even about censorship. It's about what's actually legal. You know, I can't smoke crack on camera and not get arrested. All right. I'm doing something illegal. If I shoot my gun into an occupied dwelling, I can't just say, oh, I got freedom of speech. Nah, like I'm committing a crime. You know, if I go into a gas station, no mask on, bare face, I put a gun talking about give me the money. I can't just say, oh, I have my freedom of speech. I'm just exercising, no. You're committing armed robbery. You can't just do whatever you want to do. There are certain crimes that exist, and they exist for a good reason. If you violate the crimes, you go to the penitentiary or wherever else you go. Whatever punishment you get for violating the law. And that's it. Why would anyone try to defend some of these ridiculous and heinous actions that I've seen get defended? I don't really understand. But then again, I guess I do understand because I know how some people are. They're just not really all the way there. You know, the elevator's not going all the way to the top floor, my humble opinion. It's a whole big mess. But yeah, exactly. Thank you, Himmels, Damon, who says child abuse isn't censorship. Murder being illegal isn't censorship. Exactly. There you go. Bingo. There are certain things you cannot do in the United States. It is illegal. You go to the penitentiary. If you had some of that cutie stuff on your computer without it being in the context of a movie, you get brought up on charges. You might go to jail for that. Okay, that right there is totally illegal. I can't say I was shocked, but at the same time, what shocked me more than Netflix having it up, which I was kind of shocked, but not really that much because it is Netflix and they've been degenerate for quite a while. The bigger shock was the defense of it. People said, oh, the story was gripping and you guys are just being prudes. Prudes? I mean, if you got adult women, you know, showing their body or twerking or whatever, I mean, that's their business. I think that you should be a little bit more modest in society. If you got young girls that watch you, even if you're an adult, but that's a different story, Make the Stallion, so I digress. My whole point is that we're talking about kids. How can somebody say that you're being a prude when it comes to kids? Like, leave the kids alone. It's just crazy. There was one guy talking about, I you know what, and I kind of want to say what he said, but at the same time, I don't want to say what he said. I was going to show it, but I feel like I can't. I'm going to just kind of summarize what he said. Now, there's this one dude on YouTube, you may have seen the video on Twitter. It was this one guy on YouTube saying that, oh, you guys are missing the point. You're supposed to see the little girls as hot, but you know that they're kids still. It's like, what? How can you see? When I see a little kid, I see a little kid. I see one of my little nieces or one of my little cousins when they were kids. You know, that's what I see. I don't see hot. I see child. But again, this movie is out there for guys that may enjoy watching that. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, I'm going to give you a brief recap. There's this movie called Cuties on Netflix, and it's supposed to be about how little girls get caught up in the beauty pageant, and you know, they get caught up in industries that take advantage of them, that exploit them. So I guess the whole point was to expose how bad that is, to expose how bad exploitation is. But what they end up doing is exploiting the girls themselves on Netflix. You're trying to tell me how bad exploitation is, but you're doing it yourself. So it's just kind of hard for me to really grasp that concept of you thinking that it's a serious thing, but at the same time, you are doing the very thing that you're railing against doing, or you're trying to warn against doing. You know, it's that double speak stuff. Oh, I'm against X, Y, and Z, but you're doing X, Y, and Z. So how are you against it at the same time? It doesn't make any sense at all. But hey, that's where we're at right now in Hollywood. And the Hollywood people, they loving it. The Hollywood, the stars, the big name celebrities. This is why celebrities a lot of times don't, the leftist Hollywood celebrity will say whatever the leftist Hollywood celebrity is supposed to say. They don't really have a thought of their own. Now, there are some celebrities that have sense, but a lot of them don't. And the problem is that a lot of the ones that don't have sense are seen as legitimate because they are a celebrity. You know their name. Okay, here's Jennifer Aniston from a 1990s sitcom that nobody watches anymore. Well, some of y'all still watch it. I don't. But anyway, here's Jennifer Aniston. Let's hear her thoughts on the virus and climate change. And then it's taken as gospel. But why? Because she's a celebrity? What does she know about climate change and the virus? Is she a scientist? Is she, did she take 20 years of her life to dedicate towards a craft, 10,000 hours, become an expert? Or is she a celebrity and that's it? She's an actress and that's it. But her word means more than someone else's. It does not mean more. We got to get down to the facts and not let the influential people determine what the facts are or be the grand arbiter of what is fact and what is fiction, what's moral and what is immoral. And if you look at a celebrity in general, for being the grand arbiter of morality, you're gonna come up short every time. You're gonna be you're gonna be going down under with gasoline draws on. You understand what I'm saying? You're not gonna be in a very good way. It'll pretty much be a wrap. You're gonna be toast. You know, you're gonna be fried laid to the side. So yeah, I've been canceled Netflix for a long time. I don't have Netflix. What they did with that movie was just ridiculous. And like I said, my main problem was with people defending it, talking about the girls are hot when they're not supposed to be. It's a beautiful movie. No. I don't care what the subject matter is. It could be the best subject matter in the world. It could be about, human trafficking, and it make you cry and stuff like that. But I'm still seeing what I'm seeing. You can't get beyond that. You can't just act like it didn't. That's not there. That it doesn't exist. It does exist. You can't really get beyond it at all. The Demented Liquor says the celebrities get their science from Bill Nye the Science Guy. That is hilarious. You mean Bill Nye the engineer guy? Bill Nye the not scientist who got a degree in chemical engineering or something like that. I know it wasn't what he claims that it is. These TV scientists, TV doctors are the ones talking about the virus and what other doctors who have had patients treated successfully should and should not be doing. It's pretty weird how that works. Okay, Lloyd Grissom says, I heard the Vikings are going to honor George Floyd tomorrow. Your thoughts? Man, that's really terrible because that's my team, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm not really sure yet. Put it that way, probably the best way to say it. I became a Minnesota Vikings fan in 1998 when they drafted Randy Moss, because Randy's from my hometown where I was born, actually, not really my hometown. He's from my birthplace of Brand, West Virginia. My cousins, they know him. They were, when he was a little kid, they'd be outside playing with him. My mom went to school with his mom. They knew each other. Everybody in the town knows each other. So we got mutual friends, family know each other. His mom goes to my cousin's church. So, we know each other that way. I don't know Randy personally, but we got like 1 degree of separation, put it to you like that. So when he got drafted, it was a whole big thing all over all of us. Everybody was on the phone. People had watch parties. Everybody in Rand or from Rand, like that means my whole family on both sides. Everybody was watching the draft. You understand? So at that point, he became my favorite player and my team. Been with him since 98, since I was like 14, 15 in high school, right? Freshman or, what was I, a freshman? Yeah, I was a freshman in high school. But now 22 years later, do I stop that? Because of what they're doing right here with George Floyd? I'm tempted. I already had kind of slowed down on watching football because they put too much politics in it and the game had become kind of soft. You worry about guys getting concussions and whatnot, I understand, but it's to the point where it's almost two-hand touch or flag football. It's like, are we playing football or what? What are we doing? Are we doing something different? Is this arena football? Like, what's actually happening here? Are we going to put pads on the ground and pads on the sidelines, or are we going to have a Nerf ball? Like, the game had changed. Politics got into it, so it's a double whammy. You're making the game less exciting, number one, and then number two, you putting politics in it. It's a bad mix. You're making the product less desirable. Therefore, I watch something else. As simple as that. Especially early in the season, well, at least like a couple years ago or last year, I watched the NBA instead. NBA playoffs, or playoffs came afterwards, but I watched NBA at the beginning part of the season, of the NFL season, like November and whatnot. I'd watch it then. But now the NBA, they're doing the SJW stuff too, so what am I going to do? Golfing and fishing. I rather would do that than to watch the woke NBA all day long. So it is what it is. Some say, don't watch sports. Sports suck. I mean, it's a pastime. It's something to do. It's entertaining. It's fun. That's all that it is. It's the same reason why I played football and basketball. It's fun. But you got to have that fun release, something cool, something that you look forward to, something that you enjoy. It's entertaining to break away from the pressures of life, to break away from the politics and whatever kind of thing you got going on. You could just sit down on a nice Sunday afternoon, get you a nice tall, cold glass of lemonade, iced tea, because I don't drink, and chill, watch the game, get some snacks, do whatever you want, enjoy your day. But now, when I'm watching the game with my tall, cold glass of lemonade and my snacks, my pretzels, cookies, pizza, whatever I got, now I gotta hear some dissertation from some random moron before an NBA game. Then I gotta see the guys kneeling. Then I gotta see the guys writing these whack poems. Did you guys hear the poem that I put on my video today? That poem was crazy. And it kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize it was a poem until it got a little bit into it. Because I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. Are they rhyming? Am I hearing a rap song right now? Are these bars and hooks, meaning verse and chorus? Am I hearing bars and hooks right now? It was a rap song or a poem, whatever you want to call it, like spoken word, like slam poetry. It's like, where are we at right now? Is this Def Poetry Jam? Is this comedy? Like, is this Comic View? Is this Comedy Central? Where am I at? I come to watch football, but I get some, interpretive, woke poet performance. All that you needed was a guy doing this, doing the snapping and what else? Somebody with some sage, burning that, some essential oil. That's all you were missing. It's like, man, I don't need all that. I came to watch somebody get their head cracked to the fat meat. I'm not here to listen to some slam poetry. I mean, come on. Yeah, shout out to Will Redding. Will Redding says, ABL, they lost Moss to the Pats. It's over. Mod me, sir. Hey, I got you, man. Matter of fact, I will mod you. But, and you know what? The Vikings were still my team when he went to the Patriots. And I watched him. I was a big fan of his when he went to the Patriots. They almost went undefeated. That was a crazy season. I mean, him and Tom Brady, you talking about Kobe and Shaq. I mean, Jordan and Pippen, that was a crazy duo. But who was that had the catch? That was not Odell Beckham Jr. Who had that crazy catch behind it? David Tyree, was that him? Had that crazy behind the back catch. It's like, man, you could never in your life repeat that ever again, sir. You luckily prevented my hometown hero, Randy Moss. Can you, if he would have won a championship, oh my goodness, everybody in the whole town, if 1,000 people would have been outside, it would have been a parade and ran like you never seen before. Matter of fact, forget just ran, it would have been a parade up and down the whole river. Cause that's the way it is in Charleston. Like you got Charleston and then Bell, Malden, Rand, Shillian, Montgomery. It's like towns along the river. So all up and down the whole river, it would have been a big parade. It might have been like a regatta, a whole bunch of boats going down Canal River, celebrating Randy Moss's win. Oh man, it would have been crazy. So that was a magical season. You see how you can enjoy football and they're taking that from me. I don't like that at all. I don't like that. I don't. Now, you could be able to reverse this possibly, but the longer you keep this up, the more you keep at it, the more you keep defying your fans, you're going to be in a much more difficult situation to get out of. You're not really going to be able to get out. It's like walking in quicksand. You realize you're in quicksand. At that moment, you got to try to figure out a way to get out. Don't try to struggle more and more and more and more and get deeper and deeper. You're making it worse. Figure a way to get out of the quicksand. Don't just do things that make it harder for you to get out and sink you further. That's just what it is. So, yeah, but like I said, I'll be out there at the golf range, catch some wide mouth bass and just have that be that. All right. Matthew says, I refuse to pay any money or spend time on a false narrative. If all patriots boycott these leftists, maybe it will change their tune and we can get back to enjoying sports without being told we're racists. But you know what? The thing is that people are starting to not watch. The ratings are down. Ratings are way down. And then they got the virus on top of that. So I'm not sure how much it can bear. How much more? Because, okay, you got the attendance in the stadium down all the way, right? It's down, down, down. I think like the max is 25% or something crazy. So not only will the NFL teams hurt or be hurt by this, you also have the impact on the surrounding businesses, because if you ever gone to a pro game at all, baseball, football, basketball, you got a lot of ancillary things that are around it. The most obvious one is in the stadium, concessions. That's going to take a big hit because ain't nobody there, or it's reduced capacity, number one. And then number two, you got restaurants, bars, hotels. What else you have? You have the driving services like Uber, Lyft. Everything that is ancillary to the team is going to take a hit. When LeBron James left Cleveland, it was an economic impact. Well, the first time he left, not the second time, but the first time he left, it was economic impact. You had brand new hotels that sprung up just because LeBron James brought in so much traffic from around the country and the world. And when he left, I mean, it was like a lot of those places had to shut down because the only reason why they were so full every night during the season and the playoffs is because of LeBron James. That's just it. And when LeBron James left, there was no more people coming from all over because people would travel to come see you. When Kobe was playing basketball with the Lakers, he was in Charlotte one day. Yeah, I left from like Virginia Beach area, came to Roanoke about 5 hours away, and then got on the bus and went to Charlotte like another 3, 4, 5 hours, however long that was. So like over 10 hours to go see one player play. That's the kind of impact that he has. Now imagine diehard sports fans, people that have season tickets, any kind of sponsors that sponsor it locally. You see what I'm saying? Like you may have some sponsors that are actually in, that their names are in the actual stadium itself or on the stadium. FedEx Field, Wells Fargo Field, all that, that's actually because of the players in the team, not because of anything else. And if the money goes away from those sponsorships, how are you going to be able to, how can you continue to survive like that way? It doesn't make much sense. So again, thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate you if you did that for me. Alrighty. Let me see. Oh yeah. The Rapper 10,000 asked me, did I know Sundance Film Festival co-founder was arrested with pedophilia due to the Cuties film? Now, he got locked up on sexual abuse. Now, I read somewhere that it was with a 9-year-old, and I read elsewhere that it was not actually defined. But you're 70-something years old, sexual abuse, you just read between the lines. You kind of you see what's going on there. And the context of that is Cuties won an award at the Sundance Film Festival. So if Cuties, because Netflix said, oh, well, it's not really a bad movie, it won at Sundance. Okay, you could win at Sundance, but the question is, who's giving the award? The guy that got locked up for abusing possibly an underage girl? Is that the guy? Is that the kind of company that would give out an award for that type of movie? Let's just, put it together here. Alrighty. Let me see. What else we got going on? Oh, we got to talk about, college segregation. Now, I talked about this last time a little bit, but now there's a college, Michigan, U of M at Dearborn. They had this virtual quote-unquote cafe for the BIPOC community. That's Black, Indigenous, people of color. And the other quote-unquote cafe, basically like a Zoom call, really, not an actual place you can go to, but a Zoom call, like a hangout, basically. The other cafe was for non-POCs or non-BIPOC. So what does that mean? That means whites only. And then, of course, it was a big backlash, not because of the BIPOC cafe, which is racist, because if you got a cafe that's only for one group or you only invite one group, then that's racist. The same way it would be if you had a non-POC group, especially if It's in the context of a university. See, if you want to do that on your own, just at your house or something like that, then that's fine. But a University of Michigan, you can't do something like that. So anyway, they apologized for it, talking about, we didn't want it to be seen that way. We didn't communicate properly, all this, that, and the third. It's like, okay. If you didn't want to communicate properly, and this is not the way you want it to be, well, how do you want it to be? What was your actual communication attempting to say or do? Just let me know. I'm trying to figure it out here. So they didn't really say they shouldn't have done it. And I'm not sure if they had the so-called white-only cafe or not. But it's no surprise, though. We're talking about college, any university here in America. That's what they're doing. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. Segregation coming back. You got the dorms separated by race. You got Asians over there, whites over there, the foreigners over there, the blacks over there, Hispanics over there. It's not really just mixed up to be normal. Everybody separated. And the question is why? We got to have safe spaces for certain races because each race has their own individual experience. Really? Is that all we got to do? Oh, okay. But at the same time, people want to say we're no different, or all the same. Racism is bad. It doesn't make any sense to me. So you want to separate by race, then say racism is bad. You're practicing a thing that you say yourself is not good to practice. How does it make any sense at all? But that's just what they do on the left nowadays. It's nothing that we've not seen before, not at all. But I want to say something here about the whole BIPOC and non-POC. That's where we're at nowadays. Now, some are going to say, about HBCUs. Now, HBCU is not a race-based thing. It used to be when it had to be because you had to have segregation. So if you couldn't go to a white school, you had your own school for blacks. It just made sense. So that's what it was. But when integration came along, it didn't just, go away. If you got a school that's been around since the 1850s, 100 years later, they say, okay, integration is now here. Segregation is over. You're not going to just close your school down. You got alumni, you got donors, you got a whole big building, students in class right now. You're going to keep on going. That's why they're historically black colleges. And like I said in my video, you have some historically black colleges that are now mostly white. In West Virginia, where my dad went and my dad's dad went, and they wanted me to go, West Virginia State University, WVSU. It's 75% white, only 8% black. But it's still an HBCU because there's no invitation to black only or white only. Anybody can sign up if they want to. Also, Bluefield State College, same thing. That's an HBCU, 90% white right now. Because again, you're not gonna get invited to HBCU because you black. You can enroll, you can go there, and it's fine. It is what it is. But to have a specific white only thing or a black only thing, we fight against that because the rules were unfair. If you wanted to go to a mostly white place, that's fine. If you wanted to go to a mostly black place, then that's fine too. I saw a video on YouTube that said, I'm the only white guy at a black college. Hilarious video. But he was chilling. He enjoyed the environment. He enjoyed the culture. Good education, inexpensive or whatever. Fine, go ahead. Ain't nobody, there's nothing wrong with that. You have freedom of choice, freedom of association. But when you bring in rules and start to say, okay, whites here, blacks there, now you got a problem. But this is no more than the left going back to their roots. Richard Spencer, I support Joe Biden. Oh, of course you do, because that's your roots. White supremacists, you're going to go over there and support the Democratic Party. That's the way it's always been. They try to say, it's also on the right that are the racists. I can't tell. I cannot tell. Anytime I see a racially motivated incident, there's always somebody on the left involved. Always. From what I've been able to see, I could be wrong, but I've not seen anything else other than what that is. That's just how it goes. They may claim to be right, but when you see what they do, when you see their actions and what they stand for, 99.9% of the time, it's a leftist. That's just what it is. All right. Oh, and Trader Joe's. I gotta talk about that right quick. That video was crazy. All right, I did a video just now today about Black Lives Matter in Seattle, Washington, aka Seattle, Washington. They were protesting Trader Joe's over in some neighborhood. I forget what that was. I'm not a Seattleite or whatever the demonym is, but I was looking at that and saying, all right, you're saying the reason why you out there protesting is because black folks, black and brown folks don't have access to a grocery store, but you're accessing it right now. All right. So if you're accessing it right now, how about you give those that are in the quote unquote black and brown community a ride to the store? If they can't really get a ride, give them a ride to the store. You got a way to get there. You got there. Matter of fact, rather than giving them a ride, you can call them on the phone and be like, hey, what you want? I'm in the store right now. I'll bring it back to you. And matter of fact, don't even worry about it. I got money. I'm getting paid by BLM. They got hundreds of millions of dollars. I got a stipend. So what's up? What you want? You want some wild caught salmon? You want some jasmine rice? You want some, you know what I mean? You want some fresh cut beef? What you want? I got you. Rather than doing anything like that, they want to be in their so-called protest mood, just, causing a scene and inconveniencing people. If I'm in there trying to get some food, right? I want some wild caught salmon. I'm trying to go to the Foreman Grill and have at it. I don't want to see a bunch of these unwashed morons in the middle of the aisle blocking my way. I ain't trying to be like, excuse me, and touching you at all, because I don't know what you got on your shirt. You might got license and more stuff. I'd rather you just go back to the crib and get out of my way. How about that? Your little protest won't change anything. The needle is not moved. I'm not moved. So how about you just go back to the crib? It might make more sense for me, but it is what it is. Now, the question I raised in my video was, when you're talking about hood people or those that are in low income areas, how many of them even want Trader Joe's food? First of all, it's not cheap. Whole Foods is worse, but Trader Joe's ain't cheap. So can you even afford it? Number one. And number two, when I go to Walmart, where a lot of hood people go, because you got whole buses that drop you off right there at the Walmart, you got walkable stuff. You can, in Virginia, they had this whole bus station with, it'd be every bus from the whole city will drop off right there in front of the Walmart. So you can go get food. I don't want to hear this whole thing about food deserts most of the time. Sometimes there is, but a lot of times there's not. But I digress. When you see the first of the month where the EBT card gets refreshed, when the food stamps are on the card, what do you see in the store? Okay, I'm seeing Jarkeisha and Billy Bob, not a race thing. I'm seeing every person on food stamps almost. Matter of fact, I say 90%. And I'm being generous when I say that. I could say 95%. But 90% of those that are out there with their food stamps have a cart full of junk. Cart full of junk. Pop-Tarts, popsicles, soda, not diet soda, just straight soda. Coke, Mr. Pibb, Mountain Dew. Oh my, Mountain Dew is like cocaine or heroin, but anyway, Mountain Dew. You got all types of packaged food, DiGiorno pizza, just junk. Things that if I was to eat, I'd vomit, just projectile. You understand what I'm saying? But you want to tell me that they can't go to the front of the store and go to the produce section where you got all types of fresh fruits and vegetables? Now, some do go there. I'm not going to say nobody does, but the majority don't. The majority don't even know what to do with it. They see a head of lettuce and be like, what's this? Or, same thing with some broccoli or some kale or something like that. So what's the point of putting Trader Joe's in a ghetto if you have a Walmart with the same kind of food that Trader Joe's has? Not the same quality, but it's okay because it's still better than what they get. If they're not getting the Walmart produce, why would they go to a whole new store that costs more and get their produce? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. It's just not a thing that the hood mentality, the hood mind state has to improve. Like I said, not everyone in the hood is like that. I know that for a fact, but a lot are. I used to be in the hood buying kale and walking back to the crib with it. And people be looking at me like, what's that? What you got? Like, what is that in your bag? Oh, that's kale for real? How you cook that? I'm dead serious. How you cook that? So those same people are going to be going to the Trader Joe's. And matter of fact, when I was in Virginia, I would drive far to Trader Joe's. I was in like Chesapeake, close to Norfolk. I would drive a half hour to like Alaskan Road, close to the ocean front, to get some wild caught salmon, all that kind of good stuff. It'd be an hour round trip. If it ain't no traffic. If it's traffic, man, you might as well go ahead and just park, eat the food right there, get a portable Foreman grill, cook it right there, and eat, and then you be back home in time. And I was not rolling in dough at that particular point in time either. So I'm not really trying to hear this whole thing about, oh, they don't have any food. And the funniest part is that they were also protesting against gentrification. Now, in Portland, Oregon, right there on the left coast with Seattle or Freeattle, in Portland, they were saying how when a Trader Joe's gets built and the bike lane gets extended, that's gentrification creeping in. That's a bad sign. So if you are against gentrification and Trader Joe's is a sign of it, why would you want it? I don't understand. It should be a good thing when you get money into your community, investments, businesses, higher property value. That should be a good thing. But if you're not ready for that to happen, then it's not going to be a good thing. And it's kind of it's a thing that people got to realize is a tough pill to swallow. If you're not prepared to live a life that costs more money, then don't request it. Don't say we want more investment, we want more resources, if you're not ready to do anything with it or step your game up to receive it and make your life better. You cannot live like people that have money if you don't have money. If you want to live like them, then get money. That's it. It's simple. Or you can live better without money. I live better without money. You can live better without money. But if you want, these big, big expensive jobs and beautiful neighborhoods and beautiful landscaping with the big sprawling vistas, all this, that, and the third, then you got to go out there and make something happen. You can't just be working at McDonald's when you're 55 years old. You can't be a career fry cook is what I'm saying. If you do that now, you're up there in age. I understand things happen, but that can't be your career. I saw a guy on the news talking about Fight for 15, right? He was saying, I've been working at this place for 13 years at a fast food joint. It's like, sir, 13 years at a fast food joint? I mean, that's too long. I worked 5 years at Old Country Buffet, and I started when I was in high school. I was actually in school going to class still when I started, and when I was over with, it was after college was done. So I worked through high school and college. That's it. And when I was done, I was done. And when I quit, I was already making money with my own business. I already had my next step. I already had my whole exit strategy planned out. And when I quit, I was making money with my business already. I kept on moving forward. You can't be a career fried cook at age 47. And if you are, then you are where you are, and you got to accept that. And if you can, then that's fine. That's okay. But don't go out there talking about, we want 15, because the funny part, well, not really funny, but funny to me, the funny part is most of those that want to fight for 15 will not even get it if they were to get it, if that makes any sense. Meaning, if they were successful at getting fight for $15 out minimum wage, they would not get that money. Somebody else would, or nobody would. Why would I hire a guy that's worth $725 for 15 when I can go out there and get a better employee for the 15 and pay them, or a machine that can do the operation? If I look at my sheet and I see my expenses and I see that over 5 years, having a machine to do this particular thing will cost less than a human being with no liabilities, no sick days, no off days. If they got a problem technically, I got a repair guy to come in for the low, get it back working, and everything's all good. I got a 20-year warranty on it, so the repairs are free. I will just go ahead and get that. It's worth more over the long run. All because a person that got replaced with it fought to make it to where his job was worth less than what he was getting paid. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you have the increased minimum wage, now you are worth less than the actual wage. You could get paid what you're getting paid is worth that, but it's worth less than what you fought for. So now you have no more job. People were talking about they should get 20 an hour to flip burgers. It's like, man, 20 an hour. I do that for $20 an hour. I mean, I do that right now. And matter of fact, how you going to compete against me? I'll go in there and I'll go super hard. I'll be the best flipper of burgers in the United States of America for $20 an hour. Well, I would have at one point, but not right now. But anyway, at one point, I would have been the superstar. I would have been LeBron James of burger flipping. I would have been Jordan. I would have been Larry Bird shooting burger threes on the grill. You understand what I'm saying? $20 an hour. How was a 16-year-old out of high school with no experience going to compete against me if that's me? If I'm like 28 years old, I got kids and I'm hungry, how are you going to compete against that guy? You can't. The competition, your ability and your leverage to compete is based upon your ability to work at a lower wage than someone of a higher skill level will be able to work. It's just kind of logic and common sense, man. People don't think too much, but it is what it is. So they're out there protesting Trader Joe's. And my question is, what are you even going to accomplish? You're in my way, man. I'm trying to get to the Wildcat and the rice. You jamming the outlook and you smell like full court basketball. So should go home and leave me alone, but they don't want to do that. So it is what it is. Oh, Aldi. Hey, Aldi's are nice. Aldi is also Trader Joe's. They're owned by the same company. Or matter of fact, no, I think Aldi was started by the Trader Joe's guy's brother. I forgot. They're linked in some kind of way. But Aldi is a grocery store. It's kind of like a small Trader Joe's. And you got to like bring your own bags. It's like the old school rack and sack, but a little bit better if you ever had those. In rack and sack, you had to go in there with your own bags. Or if you wanted the bag, you got to pay for it. You got to pay for a cart too if you take it out the store. Like they kind of nickel and dime you on little things to keep their costs low, to provide you with good prices. It's a cool little spot. They got a small selection, but if you want little basic stuff for the crib and basic foods, they got it. But Trader Joe's really the spot. Trader Joe's, Kroger, Wegman, I'm with it. Whole Foods is okay, but they're high. They're really high. So shout out to Aldi and shout out to, okay, Aldi was split into, I got you. Okay. Tim Pearson says, branch managers are in and out, 160 grand a year. Hey, yeah. If you start as if you start as a burger flipper in and out, and you work your way up to become a branch manager, then that's great. But if you're not making those advances, if you're not stepping your game up, if you're just content being at a low level, then you get what you get. You know, it is what it is. Oh yeah, wow, Piggly Wiggly. That's an old school Piggly Wiggly. That's an old school one. But the best. The absolute best store that I've been to, in my humble opinion, is Kroger. I don't know about y'all, but Kroger is the wave. I miss Kroger. They had them in Virginia. I used to be in there all the time. Kroger is the best. Followed up by Trader Joe's. But Trader Joe's had better seafood and meat to a certain extent, but Kroger had the best selection of everything, of peanuts and juice and stuff like that, what I used to eat all the time. All right. So thank y'all for being here yet again. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, and do all that good stuff. And Publix, it's all right. Publix is okay. Compared to Kroger, Publix is nowhere. But Kroger is the wave. Trust and believe. If you don't have a Kroger right now, demand a Kroger in your neighborhood. No ad, no sponsorship. I'm just saying a fact. Let me see. Karina says 25 cents in your shopping cart and you get it back when you return the cart. Okay, that's at Aldi. Gotcha. Alrighty. And what else we got going on? Did I get everything I wanted to get? I think I did. Yeah, I spoke about Netflix and the Cuties fiasco, the ridiculousness. I spoke about Michigan, segregation at the college. I spoke about the NFL being woke. And the BLM grocery store protests. Oh, let me see. I'm gonna just put that in there, Trader Joe's, for the algorithm. And yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say about that. Let me get to the super chats right quick. Look at the calls a little bit later. Harris Teeter, Harris Teeter's kind of overrated. Meyer, I never been to Meyer before. Kroger, telling you, if you don't have a Kroger, just go to one. And Compassions for Humanity says, I live in Virginia and I love Kroger. Yes, it's the best. It's no question, no competition. I've been to Harris Teeter. I've been to Farm Fresh Food Line. That's like neighborhood stores, Farm Fresh Food Line. Kroger. All right. Super chats on deck. Then we get to the calls a little bit later. Oh, the fires in the West, they got some guys arrested for setting the fires. Now they said they could have been Antifa doing it. I don't know. We'll find out a little bit later, but a guy got arrested and a lady got arrested. I mean, if they're connected or not, I don't really know. One guy was found in Oregon, and the other one I don't really know where she was. Might have been in California somewhere, I'm not really sure, but they got arrested for setting the fires intentionally. And that's no surprise. People talking about the fires. People setting fires intentionally is no surprise to me at all. All right. Oh, well, I didn't know that. Hold on. What's that? RL Dog says Harris Teeter and Kroger are owned by the same company. I had no idea. That's crazy. But Kroger is still the best. Harris Teeter, in my opinion, is the low-end version of Kroger. Hold on. Somebody says Kroger is Smith's on the West Coast. Okay. Interesting. Somebody said Kroger in Arizona only takes pesos. You got to stop. You got to stop playing, sir or ma'am. I don't want to assume your gender. All right. Nicholas Clark, thank you for becoming this ABO supporter. Thank you to Eric Popovich, who says, been watching for months. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you to Ty Rainosaurus, great name, who says, keep doing great things. Cuties is disgusting. Absolutely is. Thank you to Holly T. Lightwork, who says, I grew up in the same town as Trevor Noah, so we have friends in common. He used to be funny, but now he's a complete sellout. He needs to go back to South Africa. Hey, I'm with you on that. Thank you for your donation. Yeah, he used to be funny. I will give him that. He can be funny as a comedian, but when you go down this whole woke road, you abandon your comedy. You're not focused on comedy anymore. All right. Hey, Sky, I do need that, Sky. The emojis, I most certainly need I need the emojis ASAP. Let me see. Dapper Dave 527 says, I really hope Trump puts Biden on the spot at the debates and asks his opinion about Cuties. Left are defending the director only because she is black. Yeah, that whole thing is crazy. She's a black African woman, somehow in France. And they're talking about, oh, it's fine, it's good, it's moving. No, it's not fine and good and moving. I don't care what color you are. If you put something like that out, it's not going to be good regardless. Okay, we got tea on deck. Thank you. It's tea time. Shout out to, let me see, Zardu Hasselfrau, who says, keep up the fight and good reporting. We appreciate you, ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Justin Smith, who says, did you hear about the Karen movie coming out? A Karen movie? Really? Matter of fact, I think I did hear about that, but I don't really know. I kind of like heard a passing whisper about it, but I've not looked into it at all to see what's going on with it. All right. Shout out to Nelson Sinton for becoming an ABL superstar. I appreciate you. Thank you to Valerie Rogers, who says boycott Hollywood and Disney films. Absolutely. Thank you to Eric Popovich, who says 600 auditions. Come on, man. Yeah, talking about Cuties. So I forgot to talk about that at the beginning. For the Cuties movie, over 650 girls tried out for the one lead role played by the black girl. I don't know her name. So my question is, okay, whose parents are allowing their girls to go out there and audition for this role? And also, what are they doing in the audition? Are they doing the twerking and stuff like that? So this guy, the director, probably got to see 600 girls, little girls now, twerking in front of them to see if they're going to be good for the part. I mean, there's got to be part of it, the dancing and stuff, because isn't that part of the movie? It's sick. But, you know, you got different, if that was the United States, I think that probably would have got shut down. During production, or even during the casting, it would have got shut down ASAP because certain things are just not legal here in the States. All right. Now, thank you to Intech9 who says, keep it up, brother, will do. Thank you for that. Thank you to YouTube user 533 who says, when will the masks be over? There doesn't seem to be any benchmarks to ending this ridiculous mandatory virtue signaling. I don't even know, man. I've pretty much stopped wearing it myself. So whenever they want it, I think by the time they say it's over, people have already decided themselves that it's over. When we say it's over, it'll be over. If nobody wears it, then what are they going to do? But in certain parts of the country, it's going to be hard. Like New York City, it's going to be hard because they got hit by it pretty bad. Thank you to Inspirational Patriots who say, hi, ABL. We are so happy to see so many people bringing attention to the movie Cuties and the sexualization of young girls. It's sick. Yes, it is. Thank you to Heidi Ho, to you, great name, who says, we lived in Ballard. Okay, that's where it was. We lived in Ballard, Washington. It's a Norwegian area north of Seattle. Nice area next to the water. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. So that's where the so-called protest inside of the Trader Joe's was, in Ballard, Washington. Thank you to Mark Miller who says, ABL, can I get a happy birthday to my brother Jeremy with a nice bow on top? Thanks for everything you do. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy your birthday. You know, get a whole lot of gifts, a whole lot of bows on top. I'm not sure how old you are, but I mean, if you're a young man, you got a little bit of candles to blow out. If you're up there in age and you got to just, you know, take some deep breaths and go and blow all the candles out, man. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day. Thank you to Outlaw Johnny Law for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Will Redding who says, ABL, they let Moss go to the Pats. Oh, I read that one. Thank you to Matthew who says, I read that one too. Thank you to Lily who says, Bubba Smollett announced he is leaving his team today. He must be looking for that Kaepernick deal. Oh, really? Did he do that? That's interesting. If he left Richard Petty Motorsports, that right there to me says, okay, I'm trying to go get this big money over here. I want to be the next Colin Kaepernick, like you said, because they supported him throughout all of this. When the whole thing popped, talking about, oh, they had a noose in my garage stall at Talladega. Richard Petty came out. Richard Petty is 80-something years old. This is during the whole pandemic. So, I mean, for him to come out and support his driver like that and to be with him constantly throughout this whole situation and then he leaves the team, oh, man, that's crazy. It's kind of messed up, too. I mean, why would you leave your team? Why would you leave if they've been supporting you this whole time? I don't really get it. He's 83 years old, and came out right when the virus had first popped to support, what's his name? Bubba Spoonier, basically. Yeah, you're right about that, the world is yours. Cashing that woke check. Cashing them woke checks, absolutely. Because he's not going to actually be performing very well in races. He was not some type of superstar racer. He was an okay driver, but not like a household name. But he will be a household name when he becomes super woke. It's crazy. And speaking of Smouye, Jesse is still maintaining his innocence. After all of this, we saw videotape, we got confessions, we got all type of stuff. He's still saying that he is innocent, talking about, oh, well, there's more tape of what happened, but it cut out right when the whole thing. It's like, man, stop it, man. We all know that it was not real. Nobody believes you, sir. Mark Lamont Hill, who was a SJW himself, was interviewing him and was kind of like, all right, man, really? Is that what you gonna have to roll with this? He was ill. He was kind of like skeptical of it. So Mark Lamont Hill, your resident SJW, was kind of like not giving you any type of leeway on it. Then why should I? I mean, come on, sir. Stop it. Juicy Smouye should stop, and so should Bubba Smouye. The woke victim brothers. Shout out to, let me see, Brett Sessoms, who says NBA players kneel for the national anthem on the anniversary of 9/11. Sad but true. Yeah, I saw that. That's terrible. Talk about no situational awareness, not understanding what's going on right now in the country. Why would you kneel right now? People don't even care. It's self-aggrandizement, not worried about anyone else other than yourself. That's not a good thing to do. All right. Shout out to A. Apron, who says next season sports attendance and ratings will likely be more accurate measure of impact of their leftist Marxist antics because current limits for audience size due to COVID mask or masking input. Yeah, Yeah, you're right about that. I think next year you're going to see a dramatic drop off in the monies that they're getting for sure from TV. As far as in person, I'm not really sure because that can also, like right now, you can't really gauge it because even if you had NFL open up all the way and other things were not open up, that'd kind of be misleading because it's like the only game in town. What am I going to do? I might as well go here. But next year, when we get back to normal, you're going to see a big change for sure. Thank you to Hudson Jackson II, who says, Hassan Piker, nephew of Cenk Uygur from the Young Twerps, hilarious Young Twerps, announced his channel got demonetized yesterday. Clips of him saying America deserved 9/11 made the rounds over the past month. Makes sense. Yeah, that'll pretty much do it right there. That would do it. Thank you to Christian 23, Allen 35, who says, I got tested and I don't have corona. So my dad's coming home from cancer treatments. Hey, glad to hear it. Shout out to Chandra Smiley, who says, thank you for sharing your knowledge and opinions. Hey, no problem. Thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Shout out to C. Denise, who says, divide and conquer the balkanization of the United States. Thank you to Julian Bueno, who says, what do you think about the Oscars' new set of rules which requires representation of underrepresented racial or ethnic groups for a film to even qualify for Best Picture? Wow. Okay, so I heard about that, but I didn't look into it. I may do a video on that Monday when I come back. I take Sunday off usually, but I may do a video about that. Now, this is just a furthering of what I've known about them for a long time. The award means nothing. Remember the whole thing about Oscars so white? And they tried to bring in more black films to get nominated. They probably shouldn't get nominated. Things that should not win at all. I forgot what they had nominated. Stupid stuff. I feel like it's just their way of just being woke. And then now they want to double down on it because of all things going on right now with George Floyd and Jacob Blake and any other random victim that's not a victim, probably on drugs, want to attack somebody, sexually assault somebody. I digress. Getting off the rabbit hole, going down the rabbit hole. My point that I was trying to make is they are so radicalized by this whole movement, they got to go all the way. Beyond just having some black nominations, a black award here and there, you got to definitively state what they say. You can't just be passively against it. You got to be actively. They're being actively against quote unquote racism. The award means nothing at all. It's just a symbol of wokeness. Here you go. You have a woke film, so that means it's good. Here you go. Here's your Oscar. And then if I'm an actor, I would feel like real cheap and I feel like a prop. And then if I'm being casted for a role in a movie, I got to ask why. It's like, okay, we're talking about Vikings and the medieval times. Why am I in this movie with a blonde wig on my head? I look like Wesley Snipes right now in Blade, but I got a blonde wig on talking about Valhalla. What's going on? Are you trying to get an Oscar, sir? What's happening? It's so dumb. Movies and entertainment on a mainstream level have become garbage because also with movies, I got to talk about this right quick. Then I get back to the super chats. Movies cater to the Chinese Communist Party because they want to get that Chinese money. So certain things that China wants in the movie, like when I say China, I mean, I'm talking about the government. I ain't talking about the people. I mean, the government of China. If they don't want to have any Japanese flags in it, oh yeah, we still on that. No Japanese flags. You know, no mention of Hong Kong being sovereign or Tibet being sovereign because Tibet was a sovereign nation and then they got taken over by China. But we won't talk about that too much. We just act like it's just one big thing and it's always just been the same. Tibet was always its own place. But China took it over for the natural resources and the water and stuff like that. But different story. And also the geographic location next to India and all Afghanistan and Pakistan. But I'll move right along. If you have things in your movie that do not agree with what China's about, then you're not going to be able to produce it because you got to get that Chinese money. So entertainment in general on a big scale, on a mainstream scale, has been garbage for a long time. It's been really bad for a long time. It's rare to find a good movie without propaganda in it. And when you do, you cherish it. That's why I like more low stuff like YouTube sketches, little short movies that do not have all the corruption behind it. But I move right along. Thank you to Ashley Lauren, who says, I'm black. I was surprised when I got a white roommate in one of my dorm rooms. She became my best friend. I think they're helping but I don't know. Yeah, my thing is this: we shouldn't be worried about race when it comes to who you in a dorm room with or who you on the same floor with. If you're at the same school, you should be together. That's just kind of what it is, in my humble opinion. Shout out to Mad World, who says, my sunscreen said to apply liberally, so I cried about Trump while I put it on. Hilarious. Thank you to Cyrus Cherry, who says, what do you think of the rumors of Kingface? Candace endorsed him, yet calls himself a conservative gangster. Not her, but him. He's been accused of knowingly spreading HIV. He also calls women foul names. I don't know anything about that. He needs to say something about it. If he don't, then I don't know. So I don't know nothing about rumors. That's not really my business. Thank you to Square. Hold on, let me get back to where I was. Thank you to Square Table Degenerates Podcast, who says, solid show, brother, trying to grow like you. And thank you, man. I appreciate you. All you got to do is keep at it, keep on growing, keep being consistent. You'll get there. Thank you to Studio Anderson, who says, hey, ABL, I've lost non-white friends of many years when they decide I'm the enemy of their people. How can one avoid this happening and fight brainwashing? Man, you can't really. If someone is able to be brainwashed and thinks that you are a bad person, they might not have been a very good friend. Good friends are not going to just turn on you because of what the outside world says. The outside world should not dictate how your friends feel about you. It should be about you and them. If you got an issue between the two of you that's not because of the outside world, that's one thing. If the outside world made that person all of a sudden fall out with you, they probably weren't really solid to begin with. What if, you got some guy, like you be in the house, right, playing Madden or whatever, and some guys come and kick in the door, boom, 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 get on the ground. What are they going to do? Run and hide, leave by yourself, or be right there with you? You got to ask yourself that question. And if they leave you as a friend over something petty, like, this SJW woke stuff, then what kind of friend is that? They won't be there when you really need them to be there. Shout out to Matthew Phillips, who says, Netflix asked me why I unsubscribed. I checkmarked the box next to other and typed, I don't support pedophilia. My tolerance leftism has peaked. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to Game of Thrones for your donation. Thank you to Nerds, who says, when the minimum wage goes up and the cost of living goes up, happen every time it has went up. Of course, when you make labor more expensive, the things that labor produces are going to be more expensive. It's just fact. Wages are low to keep the costs low. People don't really get that. They look at a bottom line of a company and think, okay, Walmart, you're making billions of dollars. What's their profit margin? How do they accumulate billions of dollars? Is it from volume? Is it from one store? Thousands of stores? Like, what's going on? Look at the actual metrics behind the monies, how they make the monies, the accounting, the profit margins. Stores that don't make any money at all, it's just kind of there trying to break even, trying to get to a profitable place. And how long does that take? People don't think that way, that want these high minimum wages. They just think, oh, okay, you make a lot of money, give me some more because I deserve it. That's not how wages are created. Thank you to Retro Gamer 81 to keep it up. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you to Thaco. I'm gonna tell your name up, and I'm sorry. Thaco Othiamba Davidson. Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. Who says, thanks ABL for all you do. Black conservatism on the rise. What do you think the Democrats will try next after Trump wins in November? They're gonna kind of fall back a little bit after the election in November, in my humble opinion. But next will just it'll be looking at Trump as a lame duck. But it's like, he's not going to be a lame duck. He's going to be the actual president for an extended period of time. I think they're going to try to stop any Supreme Court pick. That's going to be the next thing they do. But beyond that, I'm not really sure. Thank you to Shadowhorn74 for the thumbs up donation. Thank you to Pat Brooks for the #1 fan emoji. Thank you to Bordertown Mom for the donation. Thank you to Daniel Orr for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Anthony McQuaid for becoming an ABL superstar. Thank you to Bordertown Mom, who says, a friend of mine in Washington State says she heard her family was trying to evacuate, but they were being shot at the same time. What? So they were trying to evacuate, but being shot at the same time? That's crazy. Thank you to Fat Freddy's Cat for kind of ABL superstar. Thank you to America We Stand, who says, ABL, I wasn't sure. Do you know, was it the entire Rochester police force that resigned or one department? it was a command staff, not the entire force. So you're talking about the chief is going to retire at the end of the month, the deputy chief, and I think 3 to 4 more other command staff members. The whole command staff is going to retire, but the police force, as far as I know, has not retired en masse. Now, some of them may retire, but I'm not really sure how many. But the entire command staff will, from what they've put out as far as any kind of statements from the mayor. Shout out to James Miller, who said maybe they should kneel on the black anthem considering the black on black crime. Yikes. But facts at the same time. I'm going to say that again, in case you didn't hear it. Maybe they should kneel for the black anthem considering the black on black crime. Big facts. Elijah Jean Williams says, it's my birthday. Glad to be here with y'all. Happy birthday to Elijah Jean. Glad to be here with you. Thank you to Theo Francis, who says Cuties victims were groomed by Netflix, a common pedo tactic. Jeffrey Epstein's the same thing. Really crazy. Let me see. Thank you to Tony Danza for the donation. Thank you to A. Apron, who says Juicy Smollett. Once Dave Chappelle busts you, you're done. Ain't nobody going to believe you. Look what happened after Chappelle busted on R. Kelly. Yeah. When he got on R. Kelly, it was pretty much a wrap. You become immortalized in pop culture, and you never be the same again. Christian 23, Alan 35 says, make America patriotic again, make the South Southern again. There you go. Thank you to Let Freedom Ring America for becoming an ABL supporter. And thank you to Ralph Luck, who says, why is someone talking about Trump being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize? I'm going to do that video Monday, too. That's my other one I got to do on Monday. Because that's really big. Because not just one, but 2 Nobel Peace Prizes. I put a thing on my Facebook about that. I was saying about the Atlantic, they wanted to end the Nobel Peace Prize because Trump got nominated. It's like, look at them. They're already doing it. I'd figured they'd be upset if he won it, for sure. If Trump won a Nobel Peace Prize, you're talking about an epic meltdown, worse than the 2016 election victory, in my humble opinion. But he just got nominated, and they're already freaking out. And I don't even see why that was a good nomination for brokering the peace between. First, you had the peace deal between Kosovo and Serbia. That's big. You're talking about ethnic war, religious war, Yugoslavia, and that's a whole big, deep thing right there. Okay, that's real deep, super deep. You're talking about deep like Israel, and I don't want to do that. Not Palestine, because that's not really a place, but it's a deep thing. You understand what I'm saying? And then to get them to recognize Israel, Kosovo it is, because they're Muslim, and Serbia is not. That's a different story. And also, what else? UAE and Israel, that's big too. And I think there's another one, I forgot what it was, but it's a bunch of these peace deals rolling out. Trump is a peaceful, he should get the Nobel Peace Prize. He's not a war president at all. Thank you to JVS H-Town, who says, I heard that Notre Dame players said a prayer before the game and that was hit. No SJW show, just a game. That's what it should be. Perfect. Exactly. That's what it should be. Thank you to, let me see, Video Chimp, who says, Anthony, a friend told me to watch Netflix 13th, that there is systemic racism. Before I watch, can you give your thoughts on 13th Amendment? Thank you and love you. Heart emoji. Before I even say about the amendment specifically, that documentary is full of falsehoods and half-truths. Here's the thing. You might kind of fall for some of it because some of it is true, but they don't elaborate on it. I forget one part I saw a clip of it. I need to see the entire thing. I've seen clips of a lot of it. I've not seen the entire thing in its entirety, but I saw one clip that literally cut a fact in half. Like it was deliberate to do so you didn't see the whole thing. Not giving you the full quote, giving you half truths. That's what they do. That was done by Ava DuVernay, who's a big time SJW and a horrible film director. If I add that. She did Selma, which was a terrible movie. She had everything in her power to make a good movie. You got a studio behind you. You got money. You got Common, Oprah, everything at your fingertips. You put out a dud. You had the budget and the climate and the backing for a like something like along the lines of Malcolm X done by Spike Lee. You could have been on that level, but you make some kind of made for Lifetime movie. It was ridiculously terrible. So she made that movie, first of all. And as far as the 13th, I mean, now that's as far as saying that you are a slave if you get locked up. Well, check it out. if you don't want to be a slave, don't get locked up. That's how I feel about it. That's pretty much where I'm at. The slaves are free. If you want to volunteer to be a slave, get locked up. And that's fine with me. Thank you to Nerds who says, ABL, did I see what Tulsi Gabbard said about Cuties? She told Netflix a new one that I left is saying she is right wing. Oh, they've been saying that because she's been on Fox News and she was not invited at all to the Democrat National Convention. It didn't even call her, didn't even ask. So they've been saying that. But Tulsi, if anything, is more of a moderate leftist. If anything, she's still a leftist. That's just a big fact because when she said she would give illegal aliens healthcare, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a moderate leftist at best, or a stomp down leftist, but still having some conservative values here and there. Thank you to UY Ball says, thank you ABL for what you do. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to It's All Good who says, I may not agree with your stuff 100%. Yeah, appreciate the conversation. Hey, it's all good. Thank you for being here. Shout out to Zillich's Cane Sword who says, just spreading the love. Go on now. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Let's get to the calls here. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And if you want to get in through Skype, there's an email for that in the description box below. Let me start Skype right now and see if it want to work properly. Hopefully it does, but it often does not. Yeah, but Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know. I can't say I'm a fan of Tulsi Gabbard. I like some of her points, but not all of them. That's pretty much how I feel about her. If that kind of clarifies my stance. I'll call you on the line. We'll speak to 616.
Michael.
All right, Michael, what's happening?
Good.
All right, what's going on?
How you doing?
Everything's fine, man. What's happening with you?
Oh, I'm just watching your show.
Okay.
It's delayed.
Yeah, don't watch the stream when you on your phone because there is a delay.
Okay.
Okay, so what's on your mind? What you want to talk about?
I'm a Lions fan, and I don't know if I want to watch the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't like it. They should respect the flag.
That's facts.
They should respect the flag because have you heard of Mike Rowe?
Yeah, Dirty Jobs.
Yeah, he has a podcast called The Way I Heard It. You should listen to it.
Okay.
He has an episode, Why You Stand, and other episodes, and they're very interesting.
No doubt. That's good. I'll check it out when I get a little bit of time.
Okay, that's all I wanted to let you know.
All right, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Nippin, what's going on, boss?
Not much. How are you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
So yeah, I actually thought I'd have to wait much longer because I'm usually the last one or the first one. So anyway, they've done it again. They have done it again. A college demands white-only a white-only area. I mean, like, really?
Well, they're saying that it was just an internet thing, like a Zoom call, a white-only Zoom call. But see, the thing is that's not going to just stop there. It'll be okay. Let's have all-black dorms. Then, if you're going to have an all-black dorm or all so-called person of color dorm, meaning non-white, then you got to have a space for the white students too. That's going to be all white.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's
Jim Crow.
Oh, absolutely.
Where have I heard that before? Democrats, Strom Thurmond. But although he changed his, what do you call it? What's his name? Although, you know, I kind of respect Strom Thurmond because he changed towards the end, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
You know what I mean, right?
No, I mean, what did he do towards the end?
Did he not change towards the Republican Party and started, you know, changing his views towards segregation? Did he not do that?
I mean, I'm not really sure.
Because I kind of remember that he gave up on his segregation list views towards the end of his life.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, Netflix is apparently being cancelled.
Yeah, they're right now in the midst of a cancel controversy because of what they did with that movie.
Which movie?
It's called Cuties.
Oh, so I'm assuming it has something to do with LGBT.
Man, you gotta check out the video I did on it. It's really just crazy.
So yeah, this is from a long time ago, but a BLM supporter shot a Trump supporter like somewhere on the West Coast. I mean,
that was in Portland.
And according to the tolerant left, it was self-defense.
Yeah, but that was bogus. I mean, there's been video that's come out, there's pictures that came out. That was totally bogus. That guy's going to the penitentiary ASAP.
Penitentiary, like being
in prison.
Yeah, that's it, in prison. And then Candace Owens destroys Cardi B.
Oh yeah, tore to pieces.
Exactly. I mean, you are trying to, like I said before, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. It's only gonna end bad for you.
Yeah, Cardi B was not ready at all. Not in the least bit. I mean,
so the Miami.
Huh?
Go on.
No, I was saying that she may think that she's a smart person, intellectual and whatnot, but I beg to differ. I think not.
So, with that, the Miami Dolphins perform an anti-anthem, and they go full Vogue.
Yeah, they totally woke. They had an anti-anthem poem. It was like a rap song. It was crazy. But this is what the woke culture, has for us now.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're thinking of doing to James Bond. They're thinking of making a James Bond a black female. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean, it kills the whole purpose, like, because James Bond was ladies' man. There's always been white male, like it's always been, because you know I'd be the same way if they're trying to make Blade into a white woman. It's like no, Blade is Wesley Snipes. I mean, it was a whole thing. Spawn, Blade, all these characters are black. Leave them black. It's just like if you remade Black Panther as all white Vikings with blonde hair. It's like, no, that's not Wakanda full of Vikings with blonde hair. You got black Africans in Africa.
I mean, imagine if the roles were switched. Like they made Martin Luther King a white person. Imagine the outrage.
Right.
If they made Martin Luther King white. Imagine how much outrage there would be.
It'd be crazy.
Yeah, just like police brutality. No one says it if it's a black person killing a white person. No one, but they all go up in arms when it's a white person, when it's a white cop who does it to a black victim.
Right.
And yeah. So you know what? I can accept a black man playing James Bond, but not a woman, because that just kills the whole purpose.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't.
I'll give you another person. I'll give you person of color playing James Bond, but do not change the gender. Do not change the gender.
Right. I'm with you on that, man. Hey, I got a lot of calls online. Got to get to a few more here.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Oh, definitely, man. Always.
So I shall speak to you on Thursday.
Thursday your time, Wednesday my time. I got you, boss.
Speak to you then.
All right, now take care.
Peace.
Peace. All right, let's get a few more calls here. You guys on the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best. Let's get to the next one. 505, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Sky.
All right, Scott, what's going on? Glad you're able to call in.
Yeah, glad to talk to you. Just wanted to say thanks for everything you've done. Love watching your videos every day.
Oh, thank you for watching. I appreciate you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share. I actually live in LA, and this past week we had diversity inclusion training at my job.
Oh, boy.
And so, yeah, just want to share the chat. So they actually, split us up into small groups and had us discuss how we feel about Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was crazy. So just to know that, they're doing this in our workplaces, and we can't even go to work without having to escape from this. It's literally everywhere. So pray for us here in California, man.
Now, how was actual training? Was it kind of invasive? Was it weird? And what was the result, if anything?
It was pretty invasive, and especially if you didn't agree. So most of the time I was in a meeting with white men. And so I would tell them hey, I don't agree. I don't agree with the organization of Black Lives Matter at all. And they would just be very quiet. And then one of the black guys was actually, I love LeBron. And I'm sitting there oh, Lord. So, yeah. But I guess it's nice because you can express how you feel. And most people, are kind of shocked that I don't follow the narrative since I'm a black woman. But,
Now, was it any kind of retaliation? If you disagree, or was it just what was it, anything that came as a result? Or is it just, okay, we're going through the training, asking questions, but that's it, nothing else?
Yeah, there was a little retaliation. It was very you have to, basically the way they framed it with their words is they want you to listen to their story and be inclusive of everybody and their views. But if you're basically different from that, then they're not inclusive towards you.
Oh, okay.
So, it's the same stuff we're all getting. It just sucks that it's really happening everywhere. And then we have mandatory trainings now in the workplaces.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But thanks again, ABL, for everything, and I appreciate you and all the work you do, and enjoy the rest of the stream.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Scott, for calling. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. Everybody's getting this workplace training. But you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I never was in corporate America for that reason, because I knew that you would kind of come into contact with that kind of stuff. All right, caller on Skype. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing, ABL? It's Thomas from Phoenix.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, yeah, I just wanted to see why when you say all lives matter, it's so divisive. I was talking to my niece. She's 15 years old, and I told her, I said, hey, all lives matter. And she goes, oh, no, all lives don't matter until Black lives matter. And I told her, I said, all lives includes every single color that you think of. And I just don't get it. I just don't understand, ABL.
Well, people say that they say things that they don't actually mean. What they want to say is only Black lives matter. And if you say all lives matter, then they don't want to hear that, because it's not even about everybody. It's about them. It's a selfish thing. So when the response is all lives matter until Black lives matter, that's not a real response. That's something that just dismissed what you're saying. Because like you said, all lives include Black. So if I'm saying everybody, that means you too. It's not exclusionary, but what they're saying is exclusionary. And that's the whole thing they don't really want to address full on.
So I don't know if it's just an age thing or not, because I don't know. It seems like when you're younger in age, you tend to be more democratic. And then once you start getting older, you start getting wise, you start seeing for things what they are, then you kind of turn towards the Republican side. Do you think there's kind of any truth to that? Because it seems like all the young kids are just I don't know. It seems like they're lost or something.
I think so. I think the old saying goes, if you are liberal, if you are conservative, if you are as a child conservative, you have no heart. But if you are an adult and liberal, you have no brain. That's pretty much how it goes. You're going to have some adult leftists, like some of these kids out here kind of lost. It's just not really, either they're not genuine or they don't have any kind of brain power. They're not really thinking very sharply, very clearly. And that's just kind of how it goes. Just like me, when I was a kid, I was just naturally kind of conservative, like liberal politically.
Right.
I didn't really know any better. When I got to be an adult and I got out here working and started doing things on my own, then it's like, oh, okay, well, I see this over here making sense. I'm gonna just go be conservative. That makes more sense for me. So I think that's pretty much what's going on. It's the age thing for some people, not everybody.
That's what I thought. And yeah, and then another thing is with this anthem, it kind of disgusts me that these players are like hiding inside the stadium. And it's like, I remember being like growing up, and we always stood every morning, put your hand over your heart and stood for the Pledge of Allegiance. And that's something that I grew up with. And just, I mean, there's people or soldiers that died for that flag of every color, black, white, whatever color you could think of. And it just feels like disgraceful. I just like, how did we get to this point in this nation that you just hide? Like, I don't get it. Like, if it's so bad, then go play somewhere else. Like, if America's not doing it for you, then like, I don't get it, ABL. It's just sickening.
I mean, I agree with you. I think people are just trying to get attention. There's a lot of self-aggrandizement. People trying to get popular, trying to get something going post NFL, like Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick had no intentions of ever playing again. He was just trying to get his whole thing going beyond football, to be some kind of martyr and to get attention that way. And to be seen as a black person, though in his life he was not seen that way. Because when he first came out in the league, I had no idea he was black. I didn't know. I thought he was just kind of like Italian or Hispanic. I didn't know he was black. But now that he's got that attention for being black and for being a martyr, and he's getting money, why play football? And that's kind of the template a lot of these guys want to copy. They want to do the same thing he's doing.
Yeah. And then the mom that raised him was even white. It's like, what? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's even strange in itself.
Exactly.
But, well, I appreciate you taking my call, ABL. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have that basketball court. Whenever you're ready, you come to Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you want to get served up right quick, I no problem.
Did you see that? That's you.
No doubt, man.
All right, ABL. Well, be safe, man.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Hey, yeah, if you want to get served up on the court, it's no problem. You can go ahead and do that. All right, the number to call, 434-658-1220. Thank y'all for being here. Quick commercial break. If you want to get real news and information straight from the Trump 2020 campaign without having to deal with the lamestream, old school, washed up media, get the free official Trump 2020 app through the link in the description box below. And I'll put it right there or right over there, right beside me and right below me in the chat box. So you're able to get it. Use that link right there. It is an ad. It's an affiliate link. But hey, like I always say, when I do these ads, if I give you an ad straight from me, then I believe in it. If you're seeing the ad on the video before it starts rolling, I don't control that at all. I have no say in it. It's just there. I can't do nothing about that. But anything you hear from me, I believe in. I get all kind of ads. They're talking about, can you promote World of Tanks? Can you promote some random Chinese cell phone game? I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But anything I do put out, I'm with it. You know, I do it myself. That's pretty much how it goes. Let's keep on rocking here. The number to call, 434-658-1220. 561, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL, this is Jay from South Florida. How you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Not much. Long time no hear from.
Yeah, man. It's been a while. How's everything going down there?
Everything's good, man. Same old, same old.
Right.
I'm not getting as much COVID patients, so it's getting less now down here in South Florida. So.
Yeah, I figured that'd be the case. You know, when you get beyond the summer and it kind of like goes through the country, you probably gonna have less and less of that.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I'll call you to say congratulations on your marriage. I didn't know you got married. You know, you have a beautiful wife. I look at your Instagram, and you know she's very beautiful. You're a lucky man. You know, like the Bible say, if you find a good wife, you find a good thing. So, congratulations.
Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised you still watch. I was listening to you, man. You had me laughing in the video you just did with the poem and NFL. The look you gave 2/3 of the way that video, that look, man, that's such a classic look, man. I had me laughing for a while, man.
Man, that's how I was watching
Yo.
it, because that was a crazy thing.
Yeah, man, like ABL, I feel the same way. Like ABL, as soon as they started kneeling and then they refused to go to the White House, I was completely done. I can't even watch them no more. I will never. I'm tell you something, ABL. I can't look at them the same. They tainted the whole brand with the evilness of this Black Lives Matter. I will die if I live to 80 years old. I'll never watch ever again. All the sport, all of them who's SHL, I can't watch them again.
Yeah, because like it defeating the whole purpose of me watching it. I'm watching sports to not deal with all the extra stuff. I just want to see a game. That's all I want to see. I don't want to see nothing else. But then they want to put liberalism in it. It's like, okay, I'm watching MSNBC, and I don't want to watch that. So why would I want to watch this? It doesn't make any sense. I'll just go do something else with my time. Spend my time more wisely rather than watching this liberal garbage.
Exactly. I agree with you totally, especially that TNT, Kenny walking off. You have ESPN. Oh no, CNN. Sorry. It's like, what are we watching here? Like, I used to watch these things. I can't watch it no more. Now I have to go to. So now I follow Jason Whitlock at the new. You gotta check out his new YouTube channel, Outkick. He was talking about Marxism. He was talking about how the police don't really want to kill you. They want to arrest you and put you away. They don't want to kill you. It costs more money to kill you. So he was spilling a lot of history and facts. And this is a guy that Fox. No, he's no longer with Fox. He was such an important part of on sports, and without him, I can't watch sports because everything I watch on these networks, from ESPN, with Shannon Sharp on Fox and Skip, they all SJW. I can't watch none of them, so I just watch Jason Whitlock, and that's it.
Yeah, same here. You know, I see your channel too. I watch that with Outkick. I watch Outkick. But Skip and Shannon at one point was kind of a break from the ESPN, because ESPN's been real bad for a long time as far as the liberalism. They've been totally just washed up in it. So when Skip and Shannon came along, it was a breath of fresh air because they weren't always on that. But now, ever since George Floyd and all that stuff, they've gone the same way as ESPN. So it's like you can't even escape it. Like you said, Jason Whitlock, Outkick, that's a good way to get away from it.
Right. Kirk Herbstreit, all these people I used to look up to, they're crying on. Like, dude, man, I'm done. I didn't know they were so far left, but I thought they were moderate, but nah, I'm done. Every single one of them, I can't watch them the same. And I see that they have Blakes in South Carolina. I thought you were going to be there.
Yeah, I thought about going, but it's kind of far. So I was just like, nah. If they have one closer to where I'm at, then I probably would go. And then I'm just, it's a whole lot going on. But yeah, shout out to them. I heard it was a good event, but I wasn't able to go.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good. It was very good. And this is my last thing I want to say. Lawrence Jones on Fox News, man. I don't think he's completely conservative because he said something on there with when they had an episode with that girl, that conservative girl that used to be in The View and now she was Fox. He did a segment with her, and he was saying that George Floyd, how he died from asphyxiation or drugs. He said that was a hoax, and he said no one should believe that. It's like people like him and Jenna Caldwell, they're not really conservative.
No, they're not.
Fox News hiring these guys. Yeah, they're not conservative, and these people like him, they need to replace him with someone else.
Yeah, they're just Fox News employees. They're not really conservative people. They don't really live this. They just they just work there. They're just like news anchors. So I mean, yeah, and I saw him go to that thing with Mars Ray today. I was like, yeah, I kind of understand what's going on there. These guys are just not really, men without a country, basically. Right.
And he interviewed the Bubba guy with the fake news thing, so I already knew he was never really conservative. So, but all right, ABL man. Hey, nice talking to you. Hopefully, I'll talk to you soon again, man. I appreciate your wisdom and everything you say on your videos. I've been watching you lately, so I appreciate everything you done, man. So I'll talk to you another time.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call from Jay from South Florida. All righty. And let's get to the next call. I'll call you on the line. 973, who am I speaking to?
Yes, say ABL. How you doing? This is Gene from New Jersey.
All right, Gene, what's happening?
And hey, man, I'm of course, a big fan. Glad to see that you're doing your thing. You and Brandon and everybody out there, getting the truth out about a different side of Black life and everything. But there's a couple things that I wanted to shout out to you about. Number one, I don't know if you noticed, but my man Biz Marquis, that's my nickname for him, but Gage Grosskreutz, I call him Biz Marquis because he caught the vapors when he caught that shot in his arm. he had his bicep vaporized, but they had I guess it was this week, he was back in Kenosha and he spoke at a BLM rally out there in Kenosha. I don't know if you saw that. And he gave shout outs to the other two guys, that got that work from Kyle. And it's just like, it's amazing because from what I understand in terms of his rap sheet, he should be arrested according to the information that was put out, because Huber had a jacket, of course. What's his name? Josh Rosenbaum, of course, was, I believe he was convicted as a sex offender.
Yes.
So, those two guys are kind of out of the equation. But Grosskreutz, he also had a rap sheet. So why is he able to be walking around free when obviously he had a gun, which apparently he was not supposed to be in possession of? And, he walked in and out of the hospital. My fear is, all due respect to Brandon, I long for the day while I'm able to speak to Brandon, but my concern is that if any type of domestic insurrection, or for lack of a better term, any type of civil war happens, I do not feel as though, perhaps law enforcement is going to be on the side of the law-abiding citizen. Definitely, as we've seen in Portland with the prosecutor that's there, in St. Louis with the McCloskeys, in Chicago with, Fishhead there, in Chicago.
Yeah.
That the law enforcement establishment is going to be on the side of the law-abiding citizens. Obviously, Kyle was arrested, but this guy Grosskreutz is able to go out in the street and attend a rally. There's something wrong with that. Just like with the guy in Portland, Reynold, the guy Reynold that, shot Jay Bishop on the street. He had been previously arrested and released. So I'm thinking that in this, as, some people may say, this dispensation, as it were, that, the legal system needs to be watched with, with both eyes open, because, again, as in St. Louis, the police supposedly said, it was rumored that the police said that they were not happy that they had to go and take the guns of the McCloskeys. But that's not the point. The point is that they did it anyway. So as a result, they did it anyway. They were following an unlawful order because, according to the information that Brandon Tatum was able to pull out wonderfully, that not only according to the Second Amendment of the Constitution, which we're all familiar with, but according to the Constitution of Missouri, they had every right to do what it was that they were that they did in terms of defending their property. But the police went ahead and confiscated their guns anyway, which is a scary and dangerous situation. So again, I relate that to the other situation with Grosskreutz being able to walk around freely, with Reynold being able to walk around freely. So if what are your thoughts on those scenarios in terms of us as regular citizens having to keep one eye open for the law enforcement establishment?
Okay, what's your question specifically there?
Well, I would say, what would be your opinion of having to keep an eye not only on the insurrectionists but on law enforcement as well? You know, given the track record of what has happened.
Well, I mean, that does make sense to keep an eye on that, because it's a lot of mishandling of things going on. We've seen that go on in Chicago with what was that, Kim Fox. We saw it in St. Louis with Kim Gardner. You see it all over the place. It's not even a thing that's kind of it's not really uncommon, unfortunately. Then you see like a lot of the local governments doing the wrong thing. City council in Portland talking about defunding the police and actually voting on it. LA County, New York City, they're doing the same thing. So really, I think the main thing would start with each place. If you live in a certain place where so many things are going on, you got to vote the right way, vote right locally. People kind of ignore local elections. They don't really mean anything, but they're very important. So vote correctly locally, and also maybe trying to put any kind of federal pressure on them to do the right thing. That's probably the best way to go about it. But hey, I got a lot of calls on the line. I got to get to a few more. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay, take care, man.
All right, now. All right, shout out to the caller. Let's get to the next one. That person hung up right before I picked up. There we go. 318 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 318, hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on? Who am I speaking to?
My name is Dylan.
All right, I got a little bit of feedback. Turn your speakers on in the background for me, please. All right, you there, boss?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain. What's going on?
Right on, man. No, me and my wife, we like to form our own opinions instead of just believing what everybody else says. But we watched Cuties, and we wanted to discuss it with you. Have you watched it yet?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had watched it earlier. But, well, I mean, I guess if you haven't watched it, though, we can't really have a discussion about it.
Well, tell me about it. Tell me your opinion about it.
Well, I think, all right, so I'm from Louisiana in a little town called Ringgold, and really the way the girls were acting on the show, that's kind of how they acted when I was in school. Like, so it's kind of realistic, but the way the film was shot, like they would zoom in on the young girls like behinds and on their chest, and like that was really wrong. Like it was. We wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, but it was pretty bad, man. And I can't even believe they would put something like that on a family platform like Netflix.
Right. Yeah, that was my whole thing, and I read a lot about it on the IMDb trigger warning. They said that they had female minor nudity, breast nudity. So was there actual nudity in the film?
Nah, it didn't have any nudity, man. But but you know, like you can see through their clothes, kind of like the shapes of everything, and like it was definitely way too sexualized for. And they were 11 years old in the movie, by the way. The girls were 11 years old. Like I got well, my daughter's gonna be 3 this week, but man, just to think like an 11-year-old girl like that being shown like that, it's terrible, man. It's terrible.
Yeah. So that's I can't really put that into words, man. It's really terrible. Netflix shouldn't have anything like that on their platform. And you know, one thing about it is that it's a French movie, so I don't know what their laws are, but over here in the States, if anything like that was on your computer without it being in the context of a movie, you might go to jail for that. If the police were able to raid your house and find that on your computer, you might go to jail if it was not just part of a movie.
Right. You know, my wife had said something about that. Maybe it was a cultural difference because, well, she assumed that the movie was made in France. Actually, by the way, the filmmaker was shot the whole movie, just because, you know, just like what you said, they might feel differently about things than we do over here. But anyway, so hey, look, man, I wanted to hit one more thing with you before I let you go on to the next caller. All right, so I'm not a Joe Biden supporter by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, so when he gets in a big group of black people, and he starts, you know what people have been saying, he's pandering. Like, he starts trying to talk like what his old ass thinks black people talk like and stuff. But, man, maybe he's just trying to fit in. So maybe it's nothing really nefarious, but he could, you know, that may be what he thinks fitting in is. So not everything's so evil, you know.
Nah, I mean, there's no point in doing all that. I mean, he has people around him that tell him, you got a whole campaign staff around you. You've been in politics for 45 years. You know how to talk to people at this particular point. You're not a new person. You got one foot in the grave. You almost 80 years old. You know how to talk to people. I could see if he was a teenager or something like that, but come on, you're 80 years old almost. You know how to talk to people. So there was no point in doing that. You know, Trump does not do that, and he fits in well. Trump just is himself all the time. Don't try to fit in. Just be you. There's no point in doing all that. I don't do it. I'm myself all the time, and he should be too. And if you're trying to be a politician, you're trying to be the president, you got to have a personality that makes sense. And he's just not that kind of guy. You know, this whole, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's not trying to fit in. That's just being condescending. And quite frankly, a guy like that should never even be close to becoming the president at all. That's just my opinion, though.
Hey, man, you know what? I can't argue with that. I mean, yeah, you're right there, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, brother. Have a good night, man.
All right, same to you.
Yep.
All right, shout out to the caller. But yeah, he can just be himself. Trump doesn't have to be just like Hillary Clinton and using the black same thing with AOC. Just be yourself. I don't care who you are. Just be you. No need to try to be anybody else. I'm me all the time, regardless. That means for good or bad. You know, that's just be you. But like I said, you've been in politics since when? Since 1973 as an elected official. You know how to talk to people. By this time, you should have mastered that art. You've mastered your speech, and you got a control on that. Why not master how to communicate in ways just beyond just normal speech? Let me get to the next call. All right, call your line. Speaker 2757.
What's going on, ABL? It's Brad Dees from the 757.
All right, man. What's going on?
Just want to tell you, man, I appreciate, what you do. I'm gonna keep it as short as I possibly can. I agree with you on a lot of things. That Cuties movie, I actually went on my personal Facebook and made a post, and I just said, hey, look, if I don't have kids of my own, but I know, as parents, you might go on and say, a movie called Cuties, let my kids watch it, and then you don't even know what it is that you're looking at. And I think it's disgusting. I've seen a lot of reviews from it. I haven't watched it myself personally, but I have done my diligence on what the movie is about, who's directed it, where it's from, and I think it's just a disgusting idea. I get it, but at the same token, I just feel like, if you want to show how children are over-sexualized, it's another way of going about it. I saw the poster. I showed my family the poster, and it was just disgusting. And I think that, the far left, the liberals, the Democrats, they're going to, oh, no, it's something sensitive, and, oh, no, we're just trying to, I'm not with that. I just think it's disgusting. So I'm with you 100% on, I hope that they cancel this. If you're going to cancel anything, cancel this movie, cancel whoever made it, cancel whoever filmed it, cancel the parents of the daughters that participated in this. It's just disgusting.
I agree with you, man, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I think just on another subject, not to sway too far left, but I think we're around the same age, man, and you did some, I remember you saying that you did some work or whatnot, graphics-wise, back in the day. So when you said that one time on your show, I was like, man, I need to look this guy up because I'm an artist from back in the day, you know what I mean? So, but I love what you're doing, man, and you got my support. But I'm with you on a lot of this stuff, especially with Biden and Kamala Harris. you know, I think when it comes to, I'm gonna just speak, you know, as black, you know, as black men, as black people. I think what we're doing is we're picking the lesser of two evils, because even when I speak to my, you know, my friends, and they're like, oh, you know, F Trump, F this, F that, but I ask them, but do you believe in Biden? Do you believe in that what he's saying? And like, well, yeah, we, you know, a lot of my, you know, friends are like, yeah, we do. I'm like, but a lot of our peers, you know, got caught up in the type of, you know, the bill that he put, you know, into play. A lot of, because I'm 38, so a lot of the people that, you know, I grew up with or whatnot, or were older than me, you know, they were caught up in that situation there. So off of small things, you know, I might be talking cryptic. I'm just trying to be careful.
I understand. Matter of fact, I know you are, though, because I know you used to be with First Class, right?
Still am.
Okay.
Shirt on right now.
Yeah. I know all about that, because I was around during that time doing like a lot of CD covers and stuff. I might have done some of your stuff maybe, but I know you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So as soon as, because when you told your backstory, I forgot what episode it was. Yeah. I said I got to know him. I got to know him, and then but I have been I don't know how I came across your page. But I came across it, and then I was like, man, this guy makes a lot of sense. And it's refreshing to see another black male to actually think outside of the box. And then when you have, you know, it's sad, man, that as black men that think for themselves, that we have to actually tell people we don't all think alike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that has always bothered me. And then when Joe Biden made that comment, oh, well, the Mexican community, they're not a monolith like the black. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I look at people that haven't dealt with black people, looking from a scope on the outside, they probably really do think that we all think alike.
Exactly. Because if you think differently, then you get attacked among your own community, or you can't think that way, you all this and that. So it's like, what else can they think on the outside if we do that to each other on the inside?
Exactly. And I'm with you on the whole, I've been following, like tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because I'm a Washington Redskins fan, but then they changed the name to the Washington football team. And I told my folks, well, watch this ABL. I told my folks, I said, so what's going to happen when one of these, and excuse, I'm not being racial or racist. I'm just being real. What happens when one of these white athletes kneel during the quote unquote Negro spiritual?
Man.
What's going to happen then?
Yeah,
right?
it's going to be rough. Yeah, it's going to be rough.
See what I mean? So it's like, I understand everywhere you're coming from, and I do feel like we're being pandered to. And I've been preaching this to my friends and family, to do your due diligence and your research. Do not look at the TV, because they're painting a narrative. You know, even with can I say this one more thing, or do you got to go?
I got a little bit of time. Like, give me like 1 minute, then I got to get to the next one.
Okay, cool. 1 minute. Okay, 6 seconds. So just like when they did the whole thing with the girl that was breaking down, with the white female officer that was breaking down because she didn't get her McDonald's order. Remember that was going around?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually did my research and found the whole video, and it was more than just her breaking down about not getting her her food. What happened is that she was scared to take the food because it took so long to get it, because she was an officer when everything was breaking out. So she didn't know if somebody did something to her food or not. So it wasn't her just breaking down, you know, And then everybody was like, oh, look, she's breaking down. She's having a mental breakdown just over getting food. It wasn't that. Her thing was that I can't even, as an officer, go through and get my food the way that I should, that I've always prior to normally got it, because now I have to think, did somebody spit in it? Why is it taking so long? They brought my coffee, but they didn't bring my food. Now they're going back in to get my food. So it was more or less of that type of situation. And just heard, this little 15 seconds that they put of her crying because she didn't get her hash brown. It wasn't that. It was deeper than that. So I always encourage my brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, white folks, black folks, whatever you are, do your due diligence. Do not listen to anything that's on the doggone TV. Do your own research and come up with your own thought process. That's all I'm saying. So I'm going to get out your way. But I'm glad that you recognize who I was, and trust me, I'm following you, bro. And I'm gonna look for your cash app or whatever. I'm gonna send you something. But thank you for your time. I'm gonna get out the way, but I'm gonna keep on watching.
I appreciate the call, man.
All right, for sure, man.
All right, now peace.
Yep.
All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I know who that is. Brandish from Virginia. Yo, we be around like a lot. We got mutual friends. I already know that right now. So shout out to him. Good caller. Good caller. All right, the phone lines are blowing up. You already know what time it is. Like, it's really crazy. I'm gonna try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all just hang in there, and we're gonna go in and keep rocking. All right, I gotta take a call in just a moment. Y'all, just give me a little bit. Oh, a quick thing right now. Like the video right quick if you're not like the video yet, and if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe right now as well. I'd appreciate you if you did that. All right, Chandler, what's going on, man?
What's going on, everybody? What's going on to the stream? How's everybody doing? How you doing, ABL?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain at all.
It's been a little while since we spoke. I think it's since I've been on your stream. It's been a few months, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, your stream and your whole channel is doing amazing. I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's in the live chat. I hopped in there a couple minutes ago, said hey, and everybody was like, hey, what's going on, Chandler? I had some people ask some questions. Somebody was like, what happened to your YouTube channel, Chandler? And I was like, my channel's still there. I don't know. YouTube's been playing games with me, unsubscribing people, all that bad stuff. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out that YouTube channel. If you recognize me, if you've seen me before, but you haven't seen me in your feed in a little while, my name is just Chandler Crump, so you can check out my channel. And I want to give a huge shout out to that last caller because he was talking about everything I talk about, which is spreading the virus of intelligence to yourself and to others. What he was preaching for is what the entire nation needs to do, because he was saying that we need to do our own research, look into every single thing we see online or see on Twitter, Instagram, or on TV, and be like, I need to learn more about this. Actually do the research and look into things for yourself. I loved everything he said about all that.
Oh, definitely. It was right on point. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100% right on point. And that's really the point of all of this, because if you want to change this nation into what you want it to be, you have to actually take steps and be involved in it. You can't just sit by on the sidelines and watch the news, run around with the narrative, and just buy into whatever they say. I mean, I believe the last caller literally said that I don't just sit around and watch TV and let myself be told. Or maybe that was somebody in the chat, or maybe that's the caller before that. It was one of those three options that said something along those lines, and that really struck a chord with me, because it's really obvious that in this nation today we have two different kinds of people. The kind of people that just sit and watch their MS13 DNC. I mix a couple of the names together. I love that one. Or their CNN, or even some of the people that just watch Fox. They let themselves get 100% indoctrinated with these left-wing or right-wing networks. Well, we really should not be separating networks by political bias, honestly, because they all are going to lie to you to achieve their own sort of goal. They all want profits, but they also want to control the political sphere, and that's what they're doing with wherever they are on the field, far left, far right, whatever it is. You have to do your own research and look into things. You have to go to all those different sources if you want to truly be infected with the virus of intelligence and be able to make change in this nation.
Absolutely. You got to have it, because if you don't have that intelligence, if you don't have that information, you're going to be lost, and you'll be controlled by those that do have the information and intelligence.
Yeah, if you don't take steps to get involved in yourself and your own intelligence, then you're doing yourself and others around you a disservice. We always hear people complaining about the White House or complaining about the current standing in America, but all they want to do is complain. They can't actually step forward and do anything. When we have, on the left, we have all these so-called activists who all they do is march through the streets and then paint BLM on those same streets, but then still champion for and support these organizations that literally disassemble black youth in the womb. And yes, I mean black youth in the womb. Those are children, not clumps of cells, okay? So you have to get out there and say that. And then when we turn to Black Lives Matter crowd, they mention all these people who are shot and killed by police officers for no reason, despite the fact that they had knives. They were running at police officers. There was that one video of that guy who was shot like 8 times, and he was still going, so that justifies being shot more than once, because some people can still be going. I believe that guy was on some sort of drug or something. He was able to keep on trucking and actually injure that officer in a chokehold. He got him down on it, even though he was shot 8 times. So it doesn't matter about that side of it. You have to be looking at all those different sides. They say Black Lives Matter, but then they don't care about any of the people that are still in prison for these drug crimes, despite the fact that it was the Joe Biden crime bill that got them thrown in there for life, even though all they were doing was selling drugs so that they could support their family, because things kind of went wrong for them. They weren't killing anybody. They weren't harming people. All they were doing was selling an illegal product that may harm someone or may not, but no matter what, they weren't actually directly harming somebody. And yet they got thrown in prison for the rest of their life and got to miss out on their children's lives and a good portion of their grandchildren's lives. But people like Alice Johnson were granted clemency by Donald Trump and are getting involved and affected by the First Step Act, which is releasing a lot of these people. And a lot of these people are black. So do Black Lives Matter, or are you still going to call Trump a racist, even though he's getting your fathers, your grandfathers, your brothers out of prison for that drug crime that you said the white devil planted on him, or something like that?
Exactly. 100% correct. People act like it didn't really happen. 94 crime bill, it didn't really exist. It's kind of an apparition. It's not really a real thing that happened, but no, it did happen. And that's one of Joe Biden's only accomplishments. He didn't do anything else in his whole time of being in government since 1973. What has he done aside from things that have actually hurt people? I don't know of anything.
That's exactly what I said in the chat a couple minutes ago. I said that Joe Biden has been in office for nearly half a century. He's been in office for about 47 years of his career. That's right up to 50, half a century, yet he has nothing to show for it. He's proud of that devilish crime bill. He said in 2012, Republicans are going to put you back in chains. I don't know about you, but I was born in 2004, and none of that time within these 16 or so years of my life have I ever been in chains, nor any black person I ever know, unless they had to deal with handcuffs, which I don't know if you can even really consider those chains. I think the fundamental chains he was talking about were slave chains, which really calls into question, do you really consider black people slaves still? That's the question. I mean, Joe Biden has so many of these questionable comments, from racial jungle to you ain't black, all over his career, all the way back to that time when he was quoting somebody else, but still said the N-word, we don't need any more N-word big shots. He still said that. Sorry, I just got your stream demonetized. But he's said all these things throughout his entire career, and yet he's not the racist one. He's the one we should be settling for, and he's the one that's going to save America. When we watched the DNC, they said this is the most important election in American history. And you know what? I don't think that's wrong. But I think it's not for the same reason they think it is. They want to resist Donald Trump's progress for our nation. They want to resist peace in the Middle East. They want to resist the First Step Act. They want to resist opportunity zones. We want to resist Joe Biden because we saw what 50 years of Joe Biden has done to our nation. We saw what all these years of Democratic leadership in all these cities and states has done to them. You can look at California. You can look at California and their homelessness, the poop on the streets. I did videos about this a year ago. You can look at New York, which has been run by de Blasio and Cuomo for a long time now. Democrats have had a lot of power there. And you can see everything that happens in all these cities all across the nation when they are run by Democrats. Do we really want a Democrat like Joe Biden with a very questionable record and absolutely no accomplishments for this country at the helm of it all, when he can't even remember where he is nor what his own name is? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want that guy. I mean, if that guy has a finger on the button launching nuclear codes, that's not a very stable finger, and I wouldn't feel very safe with that. Not at all.
I could just get a very clear image in my head where Joe Biden gets woken up from his third nap of the day, taken down to the Situation Room, and he says, Joe Biden, Mr. President Biden, we have a problem in Bolivia. And he's like, yes, send nukes to what's some country?
Botswana.
Botswana. I was going to say Liberia. Send nukes to Botswana. And they're like, Joe, are you sure? Yes. And he starts listing off the keys or the codes, and he starts mixing up the letters. It doesn't work. It's just a whole big mess that you're going to get with Joe Biden. And in all honesty, it's not even going to be him running. It's not going to be him running this nation. It's going to be a combination of Kamala Harris and his shadow cabinet that are going to be running everything for him. So really, you're not electing Joe Biden. You're just electing the Democratic Party. Okay, because no matter who you elect at all those other places, the presidency is what matters a lot. We've seen what President Trump has been able to do, even with a huge amount of Democratic intervention and opposition in the House, and he's still been able to do a lot. So imagine what Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's shadow cabinet will be able to do when he's taking his 4 naps a day.
That's right, man. Right on it. So, hey, it's been a great call. Excellent call. You got to tell everybody how to get in contact with you, your YouTube page, all that good stuff, man. Tell them.
So everybody, you can check out my YouTube. It's just my name, Chandler Crump. I'm also on Twitter. My name is on there is also Chandler Crump, but my handle is @RealCCrump. That's like Trump, but with a C. I'm also on Instagram, Chandler.Crump. And then I have a Discord server as well. I don't have the exact invite link, but if you're on the ABL Discord, just ask Sribs, who is an administrator, and he'll give you the invite link to my Discord. Thank you all for having me.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, peace out.
All right, Chandler Crump. Born 2004, young man. You 15 or 16, Chandler. I don't know if you got a birthday yet. So at most he's 16, man. Like when I was 16, I had no idea about politics. You know, I was just trying to play basketball. I ain't know nothing about what he's talking about right now. So young man got a bright future. All right, let's get to some more calls here. All right, Tariq, what's happening? Hold on. It's
Hey man, what's going on? This is Tariq, bro.
all right, man. What's happening?
Hey, not much, man. I just want to say, man, it's good to see young black men so educated, man. Your previous host Chandler, and it's a total difference when you listen to a young black liberal and a young black conservative. You know, when you listen to a young black liberal, they're typically complaining about how life is tough for them, how the white man is holding them down, and their number one issue is just equality, pretty much getting white people to love you. But then we listen to the young brother just now, like he's just breaking down policy, just straight up comparing and contrasting policies from the Republicans and the Democrats, and not one time really lob any emotional attacks such as Biden is some racist demon that's going to put us back in slave ships. You know what I'm saying? Like how they do Trump. And bro, it's just sad that this is how some of the black community are, bro. Like, did you remember that video? I don't know, it was 4 years ago where a young black boy debated a grown black man at a protest about Trump, and he destroyed him. I think that boy was 16 years old.
Yeah, that was a pretty big video on my channel. Yeah, that was wild.
Exactly, bro. And it's sad, bro, because it's like we got community, our elders who've been in the game for this long, and to be that ignorant that a young 16-year-old can effortlessly just school you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just this is indicative of the community that's just being told day in and day out to vote and don't even know why they are voting, bro. And you know what, man? What's crazy is that I see LeBron James, and the problem with some black celebrities is I think a lot of them think they are kings. Because the black community doesn't really make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Our wealth is real low. So when someone does make it, I feel like they get some like inferiority complex. And they just go out and, LeBron James feels like he is anointed to speak on politics. I mean, the guy got a Twitter post saying that I'm too big of a person to just shut up and dribble. And I'm like, who anointed you? Like, who put you on this pedestal that we need to hear what you got to say? You know what I'm saying? Bro, the reason why none of these celebrities will ever be like Muhammad Ali, none of them are. None of them are as intelligent, as educated, as fearless as Muhammad Ali. Like, Muhammad Ali is not going to be sitting around wearing a Black Lives Matter boxing.
You breaking up?
Or talking about how hard it is, or how scared. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
You good? You good?
Yeah, bro. I apologize. Muhammad Ali, he's not going to be one of these black men talking about how hard it is to be black and how white people must love us. You know what I'm saying? No, he was very intelligent, was very quick on the ball. You know what I'm saying? He was so intelligent that he's got a lot of interviews. But you get LeBron James. And all he does is he has these shirts called Vote or Die, or, black people must vote to get rid of this clown Trump or whatever. And the thing is, the reason why Muhammad Ali was wise is because regardless of what we think about the Nation of Islam or not, he had educated black people talking to him. LeBron James does not have anyone educated talking to him. And what black people must realize is that the people that are talking to these black, athletes or these black, rappers are white liberals. Their whole platform comes from white liberals. And whatever white liberals deem is woke. This is why we got in the NFL, we got that young black boy in the NFL on the halftime. I don't know if you saw that halftime show, but he was just singing, "Can we please just be alive?" I'm just like, bro, like, do black people think that this is gonna make us look tough in this world? You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got your black men, they're either crying or singing these spirituals, please, we just want to live. Like, if I was a white supremacist and I saw that, I would be happy. I'm like, look at these men. They are crying. Like, and bro, but this is what's happening with the black community and the Democrat Party. And I remember you had a caller saying he doesn't know why this is happening. The reason why this is happening so aggressively is because they are forcing their agenda. Bro, it's the same thing with Cuties coming out. Someone was talking about Cuties. This is not by accident, bro. Netflix is not going to bend the knee on Cuties. They are going to see this thing through. And I honestly think that this is a slow grind into pedophilia. It's the same thing with how they deal with the transgender community. They push a little bit and then they just push a lot, bro. It's going to be the same thing with Cuties. I think what conservatives have to do is conservatives need to be as aggressive as liberals. There's got to be a strong conservative presence on campus. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a lot of conservative people in the court system. The conservative media outreach has got to be a little bit more aggressive than the liberals because, bro, they're doing this to us, especially kids, so that kids can be indoctrinated into these brainless adults, bro. Like, let me ask you, ABL, when you look at the young black community, do you see, as far as an overall majority, they are waking up, or they're kind of falling into, I'm a victim, the same way our parents or grandparents fell into?
I'm seeing a lot of people go into the victim mode, but I'm seeing a lot of people go to the other direction as well. I feel like I'm seeing more going to the other direction, not being the victim, than I have seen in the past. But I don't know if it's more than those that want to be a victim still. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I honestly think the Trump presidency really exposed it. Like, because black people are really just seeing, what's happening to us politically. I mean, if, like I said, if a black conservative or a black independent is like, yo, you know what, I'm not really rocking with Biden like that. Our people do us so wrong, bro. It's so and it's so publicly for the world to see. It's like Asians, whites, whatever. They see. Look at how black people talk to one another when they have a political disagreement. I mean, they're calling each other coons. They're wishing each other death because a black man says, "Hey, you know what? I don't want to vote for the Democrats," or if I vote for a Democrat, I want to get something in return for my vote. And you got prominent black people on Twitter calling this man a coon, wishing all type of death on him, and that we're supposed to be a community that's supposed to be unified. No, bro, it's never going to be unified. And black people don't even realize you're not even doing this on behalf of black people. You have been fooled. You are doing this on behalf of white liberal Democrats who make it seem like they like you, and they're doing these stupid campaigns with Black Lives Matter, infiltrating that, turning that to a communist movement. Now no one even cares about Black Lives Matter. People think that's a terrorist movement. They infiltrate and control you, and our people just don't get it, bro. All you got to do is be a white man and say, "Black man, I love you. Your skin is so pretty. Let me put you as the first black, I don't know, head of this division," and our people fall for it, bro. And that's pretty much all I want to say, man.
All right, thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll take care, man.
All right, great call from Tariq. Great call from Tariq. All right, the phone lines are hot. I'm gonna try to get everybody on as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. 208, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Rebecca.
All righty, what's going on?
Oh, not too much. I'm actually baking some sweet potato pie.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, it is going to be good, I hope. But anyway, I had a couple questions for you. Mostly, I wanted to know what your take on, like, maybe a nonpartisan take would be. It seems like we're all so stuck on labels these days, like who's what, and I need to be addressed as this, and all these things that we forget that we're all just people, on a planet. I was kind of just wondering what you thought about how people could go about doing that better, just kind of just doing their own thing, living for who you are.
Well, I think most people do that. I think most people, just regular normies out there, they pretty much do that. They're not really wrapped up in politics. So the average person is not, they're not really in the political world. Therefore, they got to see things for what they think it is aside from the politics. Now, if someone is not into politics, or they're still kind of brainwashed by all this stuff, I think what happens is we have to be in leadership roles and also education roles. When I say we, I mean those that are more conservative or at least not so crazy one way or the other. Just regular people. We have to be more in educational roles and leadership roles, because what's going on is a lot of these kids and also adults are being indoctrinated. They're being brainwashed. That's why some of these kids, they might go to college. Before they go, they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, good kids. They go to college and become an Antifa member. You send them off like howdy doody. They come back like Marilyn Manson. It's a total 180 from what they were when they left. So the indoctrination is real. If we can kind of get a rein on that, I think that would decrease a lot of the partisanship between people. But I think most people don't really get into that. And for those that do kind of dip their toe in it, I think education is the key.
I absolutely agree. I mean, I totally get what you're saying, too, with the indoctrination. Man, I've got a kid, and right now everything's kind of homeschool, but it's all online, And I'm telling you, it's just like ads all over their schooling pages. And some of them are political and stuff. And I'm just like, man, they don't need to be seeing this stuff, especially at such a young age.
Wait. Hold on. Let's pause. Let's pause for a moment. There's ads on their school pages.
Yeah. My son has to take like a typing class and stuff, and there's like a quarter of the page has like advertisements on it. And
wow.
It's just absolutely, it blows my mind. Yeah, and I mean, I'm not one to swing one way or the other, and I do kind of keep up with politics, but like you were saying, it's like some people don't want to like engage in them. But what I have a problem with personally is that a lot of the times people don't realize if you don't engage in it, it still affects you regardless. And so I have an issue with it's like, how does the little guy, like how do I, being a mom and having a busy schedule and all that, step into doing something where I could take more of a role in my community or make a change and make a difference?
Well, I don't really know. Whatever you can do, I think one of the main things is if you can be part of maybe like PTA to still got that going on. I'm not sure what that is. If there's any kind of community you can be a part of where you talk about these kinds of things, maybe somebody can be out there and be like the voice for you guys. If you guys are busy, you doing what you got to do. You got life, you got bills, you got to pay. Maybe somebody can be that voice for you guys that does not have those responsibilities that you have. Maybe that could be the case. Like I'm saying, get together with people in your community, talk about certain things whenever you can, and have them go out there and act on your behalf. And to go back to the thing about the ads, now, is this like a browser-based thing? Like you go Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or whatever? You got to go through your browser?
It is, but it's all through school programs and stuff that they use. And we're here in Colorado. And so you'd think by now they'd be able to like make it ad-free. And there's even an ad-free option. You can pay for it as a parent. But I'm like, man, considering that it's already, the public school and it's all mandatory.
Yeah.
Your kid will fail if they don't do it.
Now, do ad blockers work on that?
I haven't been able to get them to work on it because it's on the actual interface on the page.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah,
they've got a premium version that you can pay for.
Of course,
and I'm like, man, that's
yeah. Like if you're paying taxes, and there's no school going on, like a physical location, but you got to go to the online.
Yeah, they closed it down.
Right. If there's no physical location, that money should go towards, rather than just having the kids in the school and paying for that, it should go towards this app that you're using and to not have any ads on it. I feel like it's just kind of double dipping. You charge me my taxes still. That's not going down. I'm not getting a rebate on my taxes, but I got to pay more to have an ad-free experience. And if I don't have the ad-free experience that I got to pay for, then I'm getting crazy, ridiculous things I don't want to see. Political stuff that's brainwashing my child. Yeah, so I think an advocate for you guys might be the best way to go.
Man, I'll have to check that out. I appreciate you, man.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, have a good night.
Same to you now.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, that's wild. That's really wild. All right. My phone is blowing up. Y'all just hang tight. Let's go. Okay. 770, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing tonight, Anthony?
Everything's good. What's happening?
Not much, man. This is David and Miss Lisa.
All righty. How are you guys?
Oh, man, we're good now. We've been trying to do the Skype thing. You know, I hadn't had Skype set up on the computer. Here goes the dogs.
right on cue.
The daggum chatters loved the dogs last time. Lisa put them out, man. Lisa put them out. Oh, gosh. Yeah, they agree, too. That's all I'm saying. But, crap, man. We've been trying to do the Skype deal.
Well, what I was going to tell him is that we found out more information about what went on in Georgia with the double voting.
Can you hear her, man?
I hear her, yes.
Good.
I found an article, and it said that people were found to send in a ballot and then show up to vote. Did you know 58% of the ones that did it were from the Democratic Party?
No surprise. Not surprised at all. I mean, to me, I would kind of expect that. If it was the other way around, I'd be surprised.
Oh, yeah. It was just so discouraging because they're stealing from us election night who's going to be our president. It sounds like to me they want us to be in limbo until sometime in January. And that's just, it's just like the football deal in the movies. So they steal the joy. I feel like the joy of this country and living in it has been taken from us. We can't even watch a movie or go to a sporting event without having to think about politics.
Right, yeah. I think that's why alternative forms of entertainment and other things that people can do are becoming more popular, because people don't want to have their pressures of life, their everyday things they got to do with the stresses from the normal life to come into entertainment, because that defeats the whole purpose. I come to get entertained to break away from the normal everyday stressors. So if people are starting to just break away from that and do other things, and I'm glad that those things that are doing the wrong thing are being punished for that.
Oh, yeah. And, let's say you have a hard day at work all week, and then you're looking forward to something special on the tube, and then it's just becomes this platform that's political.
Right.
Oh, man, you had it right earlier. Cold glass lemonade, iced tea, take in Mother Nature maybe. Hey, that's got sports beat any day.
All day long, absolutely.
Hey, long. There you go, brother. There you go. Hey, man, bet this Netflix crap. I have granddaughters. I couldn't bear to watch that crap, and I can't believe anyone that does. That's about sick. That little deal you put on Twitter, that guy.
Oh yeah, that guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was totally crazy.
And that young guy that called in earlier, that little 16-year-old, we need about 1 million of those, seriously.
Yeah.
I think he was a young Trump. Is his name Trump?
Yeah, Chandler. Chandler, I think he might be 16 or 15. He's not older than 16.
My hat's off to him.
Yeah, I mean, if we could start, when I say we start, children need leadership. They're looking for somebody to give them some really good guidance. And kids are politicized at such an early age. It's kind of sad kids can't just be kids until they're dumped adulthood on them, you know?
Right.
But I hope he does well. That was a great call, and I really enjoyed hearing a young person.
Hey, man, we're going to work on the Skype deal a little bit more. Maybe we can Skype you on that and you put a picture to the people you're talking to, you know?
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right, brother.
Have a good evening.
Have a great one.
All right. Same to y'all.
Bye, buddy. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the callers. Great callers. And thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If the video has not been liked by you so far, go ahead and do that right now. Like the video. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that as well. And when you subscribe, click the bell that's right there beside it so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. That'll help me out tremendously. Let's get to a few more calls. And the lines are blowing up, so y'all just got to hang tight. Let me see. Let me get back to where I was. All right, Matt, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, how you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, ya Aki. I know a little bit of that.
Hey, man, your callers are just so good. I feel like every time I talk to you, I compliment them, and you know a lot of black people seem to become a conservative, but I kind of took the other route. Like I've always been conservative, but I just decided to become black because, you know, why not? You can change your gender, you can change your race.
Be whatever you want to be. I identify as Bill Gates, so
yeah,
that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, it's wealth identity or something or whatever. But people keep wanting to touch my hair and stuff. I mean, shout out to Curry and like what he was saying about like that dilemma. They keep playing with it, and I don't get it. You know, I'm black. Get over it. And then some more Seattle news. Hey, they are protesting Cuties out here. Did you hear about this?
No, really?
Yeah, they're upset because they didn't get a little trans boy to be in the movie.
And you know what? I wouldn't even doubt it. I would not doubt if they were actually out there mad because of that.
Yeah. I mean, I saw one little scene of it that Tim Pool had on, and it was enough. And we canceled Netflix. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah. And the crazier part was those that were defending it.
It's man, there was one guy that pointed out, I can't remember where I saw it, but I went back and I read some of the Sundance film reviews on it, and they didn't say, hey, this is a critique of the modern sexual exploitation of minors. There wasn't a single review that I could find that had anything to do with that. It was this is a coming of age film. So, I mean, in what world is 11 years old coming of age? That is not coming of age. And they said it was an indictment of the patriarchal, you know, male-dominated society. Overwhelmingly, the support for that film was anti-man and pro-sexualized or pro-kids. I mean, like that crazy stuff. So we canceled Netflix.
Yeah.
Maybe the last thing I could leave you with, man, they're setting fires up here. They're setting them.
Hey, you know what? I saw one guy got arrested.
The guy that got arrested organized BLM protests in Seattle.
Wow. Wow.
And then I got taken to because I'm a political guy up here, but I got taken to the woodshed because supposedly he didn't set 2 fires. He only set 1.
Oh, okay. Big difference.
But the woman that caught him said, hey, didn't I see you at this other fire? Didn't you call in this other one? And that's how they found him on the second one.
Oh, he's a firebug.
Yeah, he chases fires like they do tornadoes or something, I guess.
No, like firebugs, what they do is they, like, a lot of times they'll set fires, and then, like, it was a firebug one time in Virginia, like, that was in the fire department. What they would do, they would go set fires and then be the first one on the scene to put it out. And then they got found for actually setting like they were a serial fire starter. It was like 18 fires or something stupid like that. Yeah, he's a firebug.
Man, he should work for the government then, because that's like what the government does. They break your legs and then they give you crutches. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. That's all I got for you. I really love your show, man. And please, and your last callers, I mean, I bet they got a framed picture of you up on their mantle or something like that. They sounded like they really liked you a lot.
Hey, I love it.
Yeah. Take it easy, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's definitely a firebug. Yeah, a lot of times it'd be in the fire department, any kind of public safety or something like that. Yeah, it was this dude that got arrested. It was him and his wife or somebody. They were going setting fires. They go in their truck and then go to a place, and they were professionals, so they understood how to how to accelerate to not get traced. A lot of guys just go in there with a gas can and just make a straight line and light a match, but they weren't doing that. You remember that, Lorene, with the firebug in Virginia? Yeah, that was crazy. Now, if you're a firebug up there in Oregon or California, fam, you're talking about killing people because those fires can be spread and do massive damage. All righty, caller, who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL.
Hello.
Finally. Sorry, I just have to turn you down on my TV. Okay, so your last caller was very funny. He says that he just decided to be black.
As why not? If you can identify as a woman and man, hey, be black too. That's fine.
I know, right? And the funny thing is, like, with all that's happening with Black Lives Matter, like, I'm black, but it's kind of embarrassing. Like when I go out and I see others, I'm just thinking, please don't think I'm one of them, you know?
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know how others are feeling, but for me, I'm not happy about the whole movement. I did have a question about Cardi B and Candace, like that whole, spat they had going on. So I'm just looking for my notes here. So Cardi B mentioned something about Candace's husband and his genitalia, and that really set Candace off. And she was talking about how, like when Candace responded, she was saying, like, what if, Serena Williams, she's married to I think one of the owners of Reddit, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying, well, what if, Mark Zuckerberg and he had got into an argument or something like that, and Mark Zuckerberg, mentioned, you've traded your race by marrying Serena Williams, and, and mentioned something about her black genitalia and blah, 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 and how that would, he would get banned from, Reddit. He would probably have to resign. His life would be ruined. But because it's a black woman or I don't know if she's Mexican woman doing this to a Caucasian man, then it's okay. So the double standard was just so obvious, and I'm wondering how can we, like with all that happened between the two of them, I was reading the comments on the liberal channels trying to see what they were thinking, like if they were being enlightened. And it seems as though they were upset with Candace. They were calling her a white supremacist and all these other names. And it was just so disheartening, Like you think about it and you're like, what is it going to take, right? Like, when are you finally going to wake up, I just wonder what your thoughts were on how can we get through to the black community? It's just, for me, it's an insult that, politicians think like I just walk around thinking about being black all day. Like that's the only thing on my mind. But it was disheartening. And I'm just wondering, what do you think the black community's response was to the whole feud between the two of them? Have you noticed any, trends, where people are beginning to wake up? But that's all I had to say.
Well, I thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you for what you do.
Oh, no problem. Always. All right. Shout out to the caller. I'll answer your question right quick. Now, as far as what can we do to reach people? How can we get through to people? Some people are open-minded and some people aren't. So if you present something to somebody and they are willing to hear something else, then they might hear it. If they're not willing to hear it, then they're not going to hear it. You can make somebody open-minded if you present something to them that they've never seen before in a way that's unexpected, like the whole Cardi B thing. A lot of people that were tuned into this whole Cardi B, quote-unquote, beef with Candace Owens had never even heard of Candace Owens before. They know who Cardi B is. They know all the songs. They know WAP and Make the Stallion and all this other stuff. They know about that, but they don't know about Candace Owens. So then when they see them going back and forth and they see Candace Owens making sense and Cardi B not making sense, they're saying, okay, well, who do I go with? Who do I look into Candace Owens and see what she's talking about? Does it make sense? Is it right? Is it wrong? You're able to get people that have not been reached before to maybe think about coming to your side. People that are kind of apolitical might hear Candace for the first time dealing with Cardi B and be like, hey, she's making sense and Cardi B is not. That could be how you get to people. You find an avenue that has not been traveled upon yet by you or anyone like you, that's already been traveled upon by others, if that makes any sense. That's probably the best way to go about it. So yeah, I think that the whole thing with Cardi B was good to get a different point of view from those that are just wrapped up in whatever Cardi B got going on as far as that trashy music. Now you can get some real information from Candace Owens, and then it might go down the whole rabbit hole. All it takes is one time. You get exposed to Candace Owens, and you find me, you find Brandon Tatum, David Harris Jr., Larry Elder, all these black folks that think similar to Candace Owens, that are conservative, and you say, hey, this makes sense. I like that. Let me do some more research. You go further and further into it. That could be how you reach those that have not been reached yet. Okay, let's get to some more calls.
Going on as far
All right, Intellectual Patriots, what's happening?
Hi, ABL. I swear you are hot tonight. It's like getting in tonight with you is like rolling the dice. We over here like 27. How you doing tonight, ABL?
Everything is great. How about y'all?
Very good.
We're doing good.
Thank you so much for answering.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, I had a question. Have you seen that new Trump ad, or somebody did it for Trump? It's got Joe and Trump debating, and Joe's talking on the TV at the debates, and that's what we still think is going to happen. That Joe's not going to show up here on the 27th, right, babe?
I think it's the 29th is the first debate.
29th, yeah. So he can't handle real questions without a teleprompter right now. So
ABL, you still thinking that Biden is going to show up for that first debate?
I think so. I think he has to. I think his debate. I mean, his team will make him go do the debate, because if he doesn't show up, that's pretty much a loss. Like the 2016 debates, I think the first one, it had 82 million viewers. 82 million people that don't watch politics are going to watch for the very first time. So if they expect a debate to be at a certain time and Biden's a no-show, Trump will have his own debate by himself. Right. And people will tune into that. And then they will say, hey, you know what? Biden's supposed to be here. He's hiding in his basement. Where is he at? It'd be an embarrassment. So he has to do something. If he goes through the television, be like some kind of specter, some kind of ghost is not even really there, that'll look bad too. Oh, this man halfway there, he can't come to the debate. He has to go to the debate. He has no other choice.
So let me ask you this, ABL. So have you been hearing in the Black streets about the Ice Cube contract with Black America, where he put out there, I guess, to present to Democrats about these demands that they're going to put on Democrats as far as meeting their demands before they give their vote? And, kind of like P. Diddy and Charlamagne the God have kind of been like hinting at it, that they're going to hold their vote. But Ice Cube actually, like him and some other people, drew up a contract with Black America of all these different demands that they want pertaining to different things that they want the government to give Black people. Have you heard about this?
I've heard about Cube meeting with Biden's team, but that'll be a nothing burger, because like I was saying earlier, Biden's been there for almost 50 years, almost a half century in politics. Now, what has he done for the black community aside from 94 crime bill that he's proud of? And they said, hey, do you want to apologize for the crime bill? It did a little bit too much. It went a little bit too far. Slick Willie apologized for it on TV, and it was fine. Biden said, nope, I don't apologize for it. I wrote it. So what? Deal with it. He said that recently, like last year. So why would all of a sudden now he do something different and listen to Ice Cube? Ice Cube has no leverage because they're looking at the illegal alien vote because they're trying to get them to vote through the back door. They're looking at trying to cheat the mail-in voting system to get their votes. And they got plenty of money. Why would they need to do anything for the black vote? They feel like they get all the time anyway. They don't really care. He'll meet with Ice Cube just for, publicity's sake, but he won't actually do anything to help.
Right.
That's what that we were thinking the exact same thing. We're just like Ice Cube. We don't see this happening, man. We don't see this happening. But we did actually read the contract, and some of the things that were in there was saying if you don't meet these certain demands, by 2021, then we're going to do something. And I'm like, wow, black people still don't get it. Why would you still give them your vote before they do anything for you? So that was really interesting. And we just wanted to know if you had heard anything about that contract with Black America.
Yeah, I got to read the report and see what's in it. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense. If you're going to, if the demands are like delayed by a year, you're giving them the vote, they can just say, nope, we're not going to do it. And what are you going to do? He's already won, so you can't impeach him. It's over.
It's a standard Democrat. You vote for a Democrat, they promise stuff, and the inner cities still look the same after 50 years.
Right.
So
exactly.
Exactly, man.
Well, thank you so much,
Awesome,
ABL,
man.
for answering
Love the
our
show.
phone call. We'll continue to watch this stream.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, the callers were Interracial Patriots. They have their own YouTube channel. Again, Interracial Patriots. They should be right there in the chat box as well. You guys follow them on the YouTube. So I put their name in the chat. Matter of fact, let me put their link to their channel in the chat. And thank them for calling in. Let me go ahead and get this link up right quick. And let's do this. Put a link right there in the chat. And we should be good to go. Alrighty. Let's get to the next call. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Alrighty. 660, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Maddie from Kansas City.
Alrighty, what's going on?
Yeah, so I don't know, did you get to see the football game the other day with the Kansas City Chiefs?
I saw the opener, but I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, so they went out there and they were playing against the Titans, and they locked arms, for unity to fight against racial injustice. And it was neat because I'm not really proud to be a Kansas Cityan because we're so liberal, but they booed them. And so, yeah, you got to go look that up. So I was, really proud of us for booing the football team for doing that. People are just tired of it. Like a lot of the people that have called have said, they want to enjoy the game and they don't want to be, all that stuff shoved in their face. So the other thing I was calling about was the voter participation ballot type things. So like I said, we live in Kansas City, and I'm obviously against, mailing in your votes. And my husband and I actually got a letter in the mail the other day it says it's from the Voter Participation Center, and it's addressed to Marcus Johnson, and this is his voter registration form, and it got mailed to my house, my address on it. And so I couldn't believe that, we haven't opened it up, but it's just like this is not secure or safe at all, and so that's just craziness. And then the last thing that I wanted to say was a lot of people are calling in saying, what can we do to make a difference to people? How can we help? And my husband is actually a cop and a pastor, and we work with a lot of inner city youth here in Kansas City. And we have seen tremendous progress, and so if people want to help, invest your time in other people, especially youth. They want to hear from you. They want someone to love them and care for them and teach them politics as you go. We preach repentance toward God and faith in Christ first, but teach them politics as you go. And I'm just proud to say that we have made a difference in so many young people's lives. So that's all I had to say. I appreciate you so much. We watch you daily. Keep doing what you're doing. So have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
Great call. Excellent call. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. 646, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
Yes, that's me.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, finally. Hello. God bless you, brother. I finally got a chance to get on the line. I watch your show, and my mother enjoys your show as well. You're very insightful. You're full of a lot of wisdom. And I love the conversation in the chat because it makes me feel less alone. I live in New York City, and it's very hard to be a woman of color and be a conservative. Most people are very, very liberal, so I kind of keep to myself. But everything is overall pretty good as long as I stay safe in the house. But I wanted to mention something. I wanted to mention that a few years ago during 9/11, Donald Trump did a very wonderful thing for the black community. And a lot of people don't mention it. And when I was a senior in high school at 16, there was a big basketball tournament for young high school girls called the Slam Jam Women's Tournament, the Fred Samuels Slam Jam Tournament. And it was at Riverbank State Park on 145th Street. It helped a lot of young girls of color get recruited to colleges. And they would have an invitation, and you would play all these different games, and got the scouts to recruit you. And they would send you information, and you would be able to get a scholarship. And a lot of young people got out of the hood because Donald Trump sponsored a lot of the tournaments that were in the city. And we got basketball gear. A lot of us had never left the city before. I've been all over the 50 states just because of the sponsorship. You know, I got television coverage and all kinds of things. And I'm actually blessed now as an adult. I played semi-pro women's basketball in Ecuador. And I got a chance to travel. I've learned different languages because of it. You know, there are a lot of things that people get misconstrued about Mr. Trump. And I think that if people would just take the time out to really look at his resume as a person, they'd be surprised. He's a very good individual. He may be a little stern in his attitude, but he's a very good-hearted person. And I can honestly say, if it wasn't for him, I would have never gotten out of the hood. You know, I wouldn't have been able to do anything. You know, I've still got my trophies and things like that. And I'm proud to say I achieved a lot because of it. And he did the guys too. He had a Riverside basketball team on in Manhattan, and he got them to travel in the junior nationals tournaments. And they went all over the different states. They even went to Puerto Rico. And I just want to say, you know, I really feel bad for him because he's trying so hard to help America, not just black people or white people, but help everybody. And I get insulted by Democrats and their pursuance of believing that it's okay to say that we're supposed to be weaker or less than, that I need the government to give me a handout, that I can't do it on my own. You know, God gave me a brain, and I should be able to utilize it, you know. And I just want to share with the fellow people that watch your show, if you earn your own, it's yours. But if someone gives it to you, they have the right to take it away. And that's all I have to say. I do thank you again for answering the phone. And God bless you, ABL. I will continue to watch your show. And I love that young man, Chandler. He was very insightful. And so thank you so much. And you all have a blessed night. Okay?
Thank you for the call. God bless you.
Thank you.
Excellent call. Excellent call. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Trump is actually a philanthropist and been like that for a very long time. Was very well known for it for a long time. This is why he won awards from the black community. Do you know that he funded Jesse Jackson's presidential campaigns, both of them, and also the Rainbow Push Coalition? Now, you may not like Messy Jesse, but How can anybody say that the man is racist when he does something like that? In New York City, people knew Trump for doing that. You know, if you are a black businessman, you're trying to get something off the ground, you try to go to a bank, get a loan, you can't get it. You go to Trump, get a loan. This is from Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown said, if you would hit Trump up in the late 80s, early 90s, you're black, you got some kind of business idea. If you came to him proper with a plan and whatnot, he would say, okay, where's your plan? And he would write you a check. He'd be like, all right, just whenever you get the money, just come back, pay it, you'll be good to go. And he would, you know, the person would come back, whatever he gave him to pay back the money, he would take the little IOU, whatever he had, tear it up and be like, hey, start your business. He wouldn't even take the money that they would come and give him to pay it back. He would just kind of grant people money. You see what I'm saying? Black folks now in the late 80s, early 90s. He's been the same kind of guy for a long time. So when people say he's racist, where? Oh, he got sued. Everybody gets sued. Suing is a way of life in the United States. So if you get sued, what does that really mean? Does it mean you're guilty? Does it mean you committed a crime? It don't mean nothing. Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon got sued by their former nanny because they said their baby headbutted them and it caused them physical harm. And they had to pay because it would have cost more to go to court and all that kind of stuff. They settled just to go ahead and get it over with. People always get sued if you got money. What does that really mean? Does it mean that their baby injured this lady? No, it doesn't. It means that the lady was just trying to get money and sued them to do it. Trump was never known as a racist ever until he ran for president as a Republican. So let's just, get things right rather than getting things wrong. 916 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
People always get sued if you got money.
916. Yeah, 916. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi. This is James.
All right, James. What's happening?
Oh, nothing much. I've just been starting watching your show recently, and I have to agree with most of the things you say. It's pretty terrific that so many people, are like-minded and catching on to what's going on. But anyways, I'm calling in because I was wondering if you knew anything about the bill that just got passed recently in California. It's called SB 145.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard about that.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to know what you think about it and how all this is coming to pass, before our very eyes. How I don't even understand it fully, how it's even possible, because the age of consent in California is still 18, but somehow a 24-year-old can now have sex with a 14-year-old and not be put on a registry. And
yeah,
it's like a 10-year grace period or something, like a 10-year gap that they're allowing.
Now, I got to put this in proper context just so we understand how bad it is, because this is bad, but it already was bad before this bill. Now, I'll explain. Now, the bill says if there's a 10-year, window of age between two so-called consenting, not sure you're able to consent under the age of 18, but anyway, two quote-unquote consenting partners, I guess you would say, then you may get charged, but not put on a sex registry, a sex offender registry. And it was that same way it was already that same way for non-males. So let me go back a little bit. If you were a 14-year-old girl or a 24-year-old girl having sex with a 14-year-old boy, you may get charged. You might even go to jail, maybe, possibly. But you would not be a sex offender on a registry. That was already in place in California. That's already a thing. Now,
wow. That's just absurd.
Yeah, right. Now they changed it to where men are also included. So before this bill, if you're a 24-year-old man and you had sex with a 14-year-old boy, you would go to jail and be a sex offender. So now they changed it to make it equal to what you would get if you were a woman at 24 versus a man, basically. Because, the whole thing with men on men is sodomy. And they said, okay, we're going to take the sodomy part out and make it be the equivalent to the women. So it was already bad, but now it's worse.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if you knew anything about it. But yeah, thanks for opening me up to that. But yeah, I wasn't too sure about like, you know, the whole QAnon idea of like the whole, you know, pedophilia up in the government really pushing for this stuff. But you know, it seems like a new thing every day that they're trying to like keep pushing for something like that. But anyways, I just wanted to spread awareness of it to see if you knew about it. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Bye.
Yeah, California's crazy, man. It's really crazy. And the guy that's behind it, what's this guy's name? Is his name Scott Wiener? Is that his name? Hold on. Yeah, Scott Wiener. Now, I'm gonna show you a picture of this guy right quick, and you're gonna kind of understand. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find. Okay, I'm gonna try to find a PG rated picture. Okay, there we go. you could tell by how I'm saying it already that this guy's a nut. All right. Now, this is the guy. I'm gonna show you guys this dude right quick, so y'all just hang tight. This is the guy that came up with the bill. That's him, for real. This is not Photoshop. This is him at some kind of pride parade. So you already know what time it is. This is an elected official. Scott Wiener, look him up. Weiner. Any kin to Anthony Weiner? I'm not sure. They could be kind of kin. I'm seeing some interesting features in his face, but that's a different story. They could be related, but I don't really know. All I know is that this is the guy that came up with the bill. I'll go ahead and take it out the screen right now because it's kind of weird. All right, let's get to maybe one more call if I got some time, and we'll wrap it on up. Let's go. Okay. 760, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
I asked you to speak on the floor.
760, hello.
Hey, hello? Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hi. I wanted to speak about the new law in California about how if a 24-year-old wanted to, they could just rape me and it'd be cool with the government. I just want to understand how these things just get passed. Like how do you think these things slip through the cracks and nothing happens?
Well, it's all about who you vote for, and local elections really matter because the guy that actually is a sponsor of that bill, this guy named Scott Wiener. Anybody, if you were to see him, you would know what time it is. This guy's a pervert himself. So that's why that's why it's very important to vote correctly in your local elections, because if you don't vote right, you're going to get stuff like this that happens.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it should be legal. If somebody's raping you, you have the right to kill them. But that's just me. All right, ABL, have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man.
I want to say Trump 2020 as well.
There it is. Appreciate the call.
You too. Be safe.
Shout out to the caller. Hey, shout out to the young callers. You guys are there. You guys got the brain power on 10,000. All right, I have to go, unfortunately. No more calls for tonight. I will take more calls next time. That'll be Wednesday coming up. I'll stream every Wednesday and Saturday live on the channel at 8 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. That's when I stream. And I do another stream on Brandon Tatum's channel on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's a real fun show. So, yeah, join me on all the live streams and also all the pre-recorded videos I put out. I put those out Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week. I take Sunday off, just relax, chill, do what I got to do. Okay, I got super chats on deck. I'm going to read those right quick, and then I'll wrap it on up so y'all don't go nowhere right now. Give me a few minutes and read these super chats, and then I'll be out. Thank you to all the callers, all the moderators, everybody. You guys are doing a great job. Fantastic. All right. And let's go back to where I was, the super chats. Let's see. Okay. Maybe see, where was I? Okay. Thank you to New Wave Barcelona, who says good luck with the cat screeching in the megaphone. Thank you for that. Thank you to Brian Barker, who says my family watches your videos every day. Thank you for bringing the truth to light. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm able to be watched by an entire family. You know, family-friendly content is what I try to really focus on. Have it be, you know, entertaining enough, not just totally C-SPAN dry, but at the same time, not over-the-top ridiculous like Netflix programming. All right. Thank you to Jessica Headstream for your donation. And then thanks for being you with the mirror emoji. I appreciate you. Thank you to Will Rennick, who says, we need an ABL golf tourney. Trophy will be a big bow on top. There you go. Hey, I like that. That's a good idea. Thank you to Chad Francis, who says, ABL for president for everything. LOL, let's go. Thank you. Thank you to JJ Money, who says, where's Corn Pop? The cereal owl? Hilarious. Thank you to Lewis from Spain, who says, you look a little bit like an Ninja Turtle, but you didn't become one. It says you have the wisdom of Master Splinter. Trevor Noah is really boring. Thank you to SH Hen, who says, love me some ABL. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Grace Skeletor, who says, ABL, you're the best. Thank you for the truth. Thank you to TSM Space, who says, on researching what you see, but interesting, talking to my bosses at work, they don't know anything. No wildfires, no shootings, no cuties, nada. Yeah, a lot of people don't have no idea what's going on. They totally just, they're not even really plugged into what's happening like we are plugged into what's happening. All right. Shout out to Hydro PX, who says, we need to return to the nature of being men. No more woe/men in Congress. There you go. I'm with you. Thank you to Dapper Dave 527, who says, Chandler, go to liberal high schools, universities, colleges, and challenge those students. You are close to their age and would be great representative. Good point. Thank you to Telma ML, who says, greetings from Brazil. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who says, President Trump racking up those Nobel Peace Prize nominations, racking them up like Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, all that good stuff. Thank you to Stephen Moore for becoming an ABL superstar, or pardon me, a supporter. Thank you to Hudson Jackson II, who says, a gender reveal party was responsible for one of those California fires. A smoke thrower was used during a heat wave out there. Thank you to Jared Gunter, who says, put a bow on top. There you go. Thank you to A. Apron, who says, watch out now. Biden not showing up for a debate is straight out of Trump's playbook. Remember during 2016 GOP primaries, he didn't go to one of them. To the primaries or what? I'm not really sure. Thank you to, let me see, Ling Bentley for your donation that says Trump 2020 all day long. Thank you to Surferhead20, who says, there is a page on Facebook called Cuties on Netflix fans. Wow. They need to get raided by the federals immediately. It was a Trump hate page, but the name was recently switched to the one above. ABO equals the truth. Well, you already know what time it is. If it was a Trump hate page and then becomes Cuties fans, you already know what time it is with these people. Those that want to hate Trump, those that want to hate conservatives, you know what kind of stuff that they're on. It's one thing to be just not a Trump supporter. It's a different thing to be a hater. What kind of person does that? Like, I don't support Biden, but am I gonna have a page called Biden hate? No, I'm not. Thank you to Captain Deplorable, who says, God bless America. Thank you to Matthew Phillips, who says, instead of making gay pedophilia less ill, how about enforcing harsher punishment for pedophilia in general? I'm with that. I say I bring the firing squad back, in public. Be like a Preakness Kentucky Derby race. I can go out there with my suit, tie, all that. I'd enjoy that. That'd be fun. Thank you to Christian 23 Island 35, who says, have you ever listened to Upchurch or any hick hop? I'm not sure if I have, but I probably have. I hear a lot of different things on my app on my phone, YouTube Music, Spotify. I don't even really know. Thank you to Richard Baranowski, who says ABL equals amazing, brilliant, legendary. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. And about that thing about going to the thing and with suit and tie, I was just playing for anybody out there, anybody trying to, make me be canceled. Shout out to Keegan, the Tennessean, who says, Mr. ABL, thank you for all you do. Your videos are not only good news, but an inspiration for standing up for what's right. Well, thank you for your very kind words and your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. All right, you guys, I'll be back again live Wednesday and Thursday on Brennan Tatum's channel, and Saturday again, of course, all 8 p.m. Eastern times. And I'll be back with pre-recorded videos, pardon me, Monday through Saturday. Shout out to the moderators doing a great job tonight. As always, we got True Helper. We got Shreebs, Liza Jean. Enjoy your birthday, Liza Jean. Happy birthday again, Liza. Everybody, Liza Jean, it's her birthday. Happy birthday to her. So enjoy your birthday, Liza Jean. Thank you to Sky. Thank you to Shreebs, Rapper 10,000. Thank you to everybody in here. Zedrich's Cane Sword, Bill from the Hills. You guys are fantastic. Did I get Ansel? I think I saw Ansel here earlier. I will see you guys again next time. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.